Well, I think everyone is curious to see what types of maps we are going to be looking at for this best of 3. So let's go ahead and pull up the maps, picks and bans, and Ender, break this one down for us.
Yeah, we're going to have to walk this one through because both these teams have enjoyed playing Bind in the past. That's been one that they have liked to go for. And then, of course, we have a Haven ban coming out here from EG up against NRG. None of those Yoru shenanigans, unfortunately, that we've seen from them in the past.
Yeah, and EG is going to have to play a map other than Icebox. That's been their biggest success point, so that gets banned away by NRG. Good choice out of them. Bind, like you said, pretty even ground. NRG, they like to play it. We've seen some weird ideas. They tried to implement the Neon here, didn't really work out. So it's kind of the question of what are they going to be showing on that map as Ascent gets picked as number 2.
Yeah, EG also banning away the Fracture here. I kind of wanted EG to stay away from the Breeze. They played it twice over the last couple of days. No, honestly, because I think that you can see how EG have been trying to play it on attack with a lot of heavy Halls pressure. So we are going to be finishing this one out on Split. I think overall this can be a pretty interesting map pool, but I think Evil Geniuses have a really good grasp of overall strategy on Bind as a map. So in terms of first map overall, I think EG are going to be very solid on that. I mean, they beat Optic 13-8 on.
Yeah, I think Ascent as number 2 is also a pretty solid one here for the side of NRG. I think EG isn't going to feel uncomfortable there, but I thought that the Fade implementation out of NRG there was pretty good, but it's also been a while since we've seen them on Ascent.
Make sure it's not just us talking here. We'd love to hear your thoughts. For all of you watching from home, make sure to use hashtag VCTNA for your chance to have your tweet appear on this broadcast. But for now, we are going to be right back. And when we get back, we will be getting down for our first map of the day between this series and NRG on EG, so stay tuned. Welcome on back, everyone, to the VCT North American Stage 2 playoffs, where we are ready for our first match of the day between NRG and Evil Geniuses. And with that first map being on Bind, we are just about ready to head into Agent Select in just a moment here. But Mimi, considering we've seen all different kinds of strategy and innovation coming out from both of these teams week over week throughout that group stage, what are your expectations as far as where we're going to be landing?
Yeah, I think for NRG on Bind, they've played 3 different comps. They haven't won with any of them. The kind of through point has been the commitment to the Raze and to into the Fade, besides the one time where they played the Neon, which did not work well for them at all, as well as the Astra. They play a pretty different style than a lot of other teams. They're not committed in towards that double controller, which I think works for them. I really want to see them keep that Breach Raze around.
Yeah, I do think that works. I think what they have done with the Breach is a little bit interesting on Bind, because I think on the other side, EG implement the Sky instead. So Breach, of course, gives you so much more utility to work with that Raze pick, but it doesn't give you the scouting that the Sky, Dog, and Birds get you. Like on defense, just throwing that Bird through the B-Long teleporter and then seeing if anyone's outside showers is so powerful that I personally think the Sky is a better pick, even though you sacrifice some coordination with Raze.
I think you make up for it, though, with the Fade gameplay. However, for Evil Geniuses, they run both the Sky and the Fade, so they have all the utility, especially when you're pushing through that teleporter on the defensive side. I think both those initiators can do the job well.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like all the information on a map like Bind. Look, when you make the fast rotations, I think that EG, what you're going to see from them a lot on this map is like 4 player pushes into like one of the big choke points to enter you into a site. They do a good job of grouping up to not allow an op player to sort of take over. So Tex's job is going to be a little bit more challenging. And like we said, it is the Sky versus the Breach. So NRG, starting on defense, expect them to make the trap plays with utility. Raze Paint Shell should be getting value every round.
I think the most powerful position for that is either fighting for shorter or fighting through the teleporter. You can throw your Roomba through, get information off that, seize nade off of that. There's a lot of really cool contact plays you can set up, but that's true for the other side of EG. Their post fronts are going to be really potent with the Fade, with the Raze, as well as with the Brimstone in the mix. Yeah,
you do sort of trade off a little bit there too, like when you look at like Brimstone versus the Astra pick, for example, because Astra, her stars on the ground always again give you utility that you can play off of, but when Brim gets his ult, that instantly guarantees you're clearing backside B or clearing U-Haul. So his ultimate, I feel like, can be a little bit more swingy depending on the rounds, although the value you get from Astra's kit round to round is very strong.
Well, I'm getting word that this game is ready, so without further ado, let's head over to the dulcet tones of Sideshow and Brent. Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Yep, let's get into the action. Dulcet tones. I can never pronounce the word dulcet properly. I always get it wrong. But yeah, I mean, this match, vitally important, all jokes aside here. NRG versus EG, we're in the lower bracket. And this is it, elimination time for either of these teams. Now, you look at this matchup as well. If this was to happen in the group stage, you might be snoozing. You might be at home, you know, the monitor's turned off.
Sure.
But this match right now with NRG, they have leveled up over the course of this. Recently, their last few matches, they have excelled in all the statistics when it comes to stuff that they were previously failing at. And this series now, EG, looking like the top dogs of their group at one point, but now it's potentially very, very interesting.
One of the big things that EG's been spectacular at is their pistol rounds. They've run A-short aggressive pistol rounds the last 2 times they've been on the attack side of Bind, and there is no change up here. Same pistol strat that they ran against Optic with double push through showers. The chamber there playing with the sky.
It's a huge execution, and already look at this. Jorgamo, the collapse onto the back of the site. NRG, none the wiser.
Yeah, and they are just not worried about that teleport play that NRG threw in there either. There's a trademark from Boostio covering the flank. I mean, Com's going to go back and check it at this point, but yep, no worries particularly. EG have swarmed in. They've got the advantage. Their players are demonic on pistols. And they run these execute strats on the pistol rounds much more than other teams do. NRG had no answer.
Yeah, full-blown wholesale executes. You're not ready for it. Even if you know it's coming as well, it's difficult to, I think, deal with it.
It really is.
Compositions that EG play, it's just they have so much utility, high value that they can just throw out at a whim, and that's 4 kills in the round for Jorgamo.
He needs to keep that up. Woo. EG rely on Jorgamo so much for their success. One of the players that has the largest swing when it comes to EG's wins and EG's losses. If he pops off, EG simply win. They're 5-0 when he's got over 275 ACS. But essentially, that just boils down to when he's feeling it, they're unstoppable. And one of the key reasons that they lost to Optic is that Optic were able to shut down that aggression.
And the pistol rounds as well. Was that what was
just ripping clouds after the pistol round.
I was like, I don't know if my eyes deceive me.
He's a dragon.
Something differently. I was like, what have I just seen? Anyway, anti-eco round for EG.
Oh, that's got me.
But this game is just... It's a serious game. It's a serious game. I don't want to devolve into...
No, it is. But EG should be able to convert this one as well. Just getting out of dodge there with Jorgamo.
Yeah. Backed up. Trying to get some out of position. Okay, classic right click doing a bit of damage, but it's going to be quick work there. Yeah, Prowler dealing with that one. Only 2 players left standing.
And these pistol rounds really are important, Bren. They have carried EG to this run towards Masters. Let's be honest, these teams are only 3 wins away from Copenhagen, including this match that you see in front of you.
Yeah.
So they are getting there. It's still a long road. Hello.
Hold on, this is
Tex and Ethan. Hey, whoa.
This is getting a bit dangerous.
It really is. The spike is down, and they know where Ethan's positioned.
They're doubled
but
up
Com's
here.
about to get both of these.
You got to be careful here. You're going up against the Headhunter. Tex, he's taking names. Now just 1 player left standing. The slight off angle, but reformed. Okay. Just about holds that one. I mean, it's a Red Bull clutch technically, but that got incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, should never have been within that territory. EG just getting caught off by a couple of players there. Ethan hitting a nice shot. Tex's Headhunter's always going to be dangerous. Tex was a beast in their previous game. Just lighting the server on fire to dismiss Ghost and knock them out. But like I said, Brent, these pistol rounds are so important for EG. They've really powered their momentum forwards. But against Optic, they only won a single pistol round out of the 4, I believe.
Oh, with them losing 4 players as well, Josh, they're not able to keep that bonus going. They're having to buy up into this.
So now becomes an incredibly important economic swing round. EG would love to cook something up. Send a Prowler down short. And the dog up long. Makes it difficult to tell which direction they're going to be going into, but the players are following the dog up B long right now.
Yeah, just taking space off of it. Get a Prowler in play. They know, obviously, that they've taken that space, but it clears it for but a moment.
NRG have been saying recently they've put a heavy emphasis on improving their defense rounds. Hazed IGL making the rotate over to B. Getting the read, but now as the noise gets cut, starts to move back over to the A site. Just playing that rotate game in spawn.
Yeah. Just at the back there, making sure that he can be anywhere at a moment's notice, but the Boombot goes through hookah and space again, contacting into that octagon area. The Prowler pushing through. Now that's going to signify it. Here comes the hit. Great nade. It's going to push them back for but a moment. Just put a split into it, and a horn timing impeccable. Just running straight into this one. NRG given all the information. EU sets it up nicely from elbow.
A really gorgeous haunt there from EU. It's a very classic default, or rather B exec, sorry, coming out from EG. 4 from long. I'm going late.
So risky.
What a timing through the smoke he's found. What is that flick?
2 kills. Pushes into the sport. He knew he had to take a risk. It pays off.
Back-to-back rounds coming down to the 1v1. NRG cannot afford to lose this.
This round was in their hands, man, but EU was down. So weak. Horn just off to the side. It doesn't tag onto him. Just playing behind the box. And now with the footsteps, Ripov's got the perfect timing. Right around the back, picks up a couple of weapons as well. So despite the fact that they invested so heavily into the round, EG walk away with it.
Both fades going crazy there as well. Comms push through into the back halls. But this Haunt, look at this Haunt lineup. Lands up right on top of Elbow there, just out of camera shot, and tags up so many players. So that's the huge play that EU makes, but that flick is so precise to shut down Tex. And in the clutch scenario here, EU just can't get value out of the second Haunt. Just goes into the wrong place.
Just players going crazy, the cam's shaking. Slamming down on the desk.
So NRG, despite playing pretty well here on their defense side for these first couple of rounds, they've got the last two into a 1v1 scenario. They just can't quite win it out.
Yeah, not coming up with the goods.
So EG, they are so dangerous when they win pistol, win bonus. And you might say, well, every team's dangerous when they win the pistol and the bonus. But EG seem like if they get momentum behind them, economic ult momentum, they start to snowball. And that's a great kill to stop any potential avalanche from forming.
Yeah, some would love to grab that weapon, but just jiggle peeking it, he knows it's going to be watched. Fawn was with him, obviously. That's why the Trailblazer was pushed up with it.
These players are starting to leave B. EU going for a bit of a gamble there as Hayes himself moves over to A.
The Seasonal Horn gets thrown out. Is it enough to try and drag these players back? It seems like 3 players of NRG are still anchoring it down. In fact, Shower's control is still there on top of it. Satchel play. Dortmund going to be taking a bit of space. The off angle by Tex doesn't quite get damage that he was looking for there. And the backside play, okay, a bit of a south flash, but the nade and the showstopper now. So Nightfall scattered across the A site. EU investing that ultimate into the round to try and turn things around, just holding onto the showstopper until the very last moment. Jorgamo lets it rip, but obviously no players within the vicinity.
It's a great showstopper, just stopping all of the pressure that was going to come off the back of the Fade ultimate. He's completely deafened, but EG is still finding the picks.
One enemy remaining.
The rifle's in hand. Hard ask, isn't it? Than just a stinger. 1v3, the positioning as well. They're all just going to be able to at least double face him or triple face him. And there is the kill that flows once more. Jorgamo with another 4 in the round.
Fantastic performance from him. Jorgamo, if he can get online, he's going to be a difference maker. These are the kind of kills. EG are coming down short here in the mid to late round. They have no Prowlers, no Boombot. They have no way, really, of getting Tex out of showers.
Yeah.
And Tex takes that duel. I'm not saying it's a bad play by any means, but whoever wins that duel, it's gonna define whether or not they can win the round. And with the better weaponry, Jorgamo gets the better end of Tex. 8-2 now, and this is where the ultimates start to snowball. It's another economic backbreaker for NRG if they lose this one. And you have Boostio with his Tour de Force, you have Reformed 1 away from Skyle, Apoth 1 away from his Brim ult.
This could very easily get out of control for NRG.
These orbs are going to be quite important. Nobody playing for them off the rip. But a Spike Plant, for example, onto, let's say, Com, because he's carrying it at the moment, and suddenly EG can be aggressive in the post plant.
NRG, though, have got a couple of tools to work with their own. Tex, he opted into using the Tour de Force. You can see it's a little bit more tempered, I think, in terms of them taking control of these extremities. The Trailblazer, the connection, the stun, Prowler on top of it as well, just goes right through.
Yeah, they're actually mixing more fakes into their gameplay than we've seen before. Normally, EG are quite an exec-heavy team. If they're going to take one area of the map, they're probably going to hit the site. But using Dog and Prowler over by B, then regrouping at A. NRG have got the timing here. Look at this push from Som. He's getting them so much info. They know it's coming A.
Yeah. And with this Tour de Force in hand, the flash, okay, I mean, Tex just eats it, TP's back away. So they do push him out of that angle. And now here comes the approach, but the Rolling Thunder more than ready. All the players stunned up. Nice little collapse from NRG. They shut that one down. A necessary prime game in Flawless for them, keeping all the guns in their hands. The money starts to build now.
And that's how you shut it down. Great work. I mean, the timing on Som's pushdown Sand is fantastic to inform the rest of the team that they need to be stacking over towards A. And then they found the perfect timing for this ult. It's just crushed. There is no hope here. Som managing to fly his way through market to finish it off. He'd already pushed down Sand a long time ago. With those deaths, EG now have ults online. Tex, operator in hand.
Taking pings on A, Josh.
Yeah. This is where Tex is going to be trying to challenge Chamber and Sky. This is the duo for EG that tries to take showers control pretty often.
The Seize into the orbital strike, you gotta be joking. It connects up right across. Ethan was helping out Tex. He does teleport to safety, but the Haunt, it latches onto him. The positioning's known. And just like that, it crushes the showers hold.
What a play. It's so fantastic. Ender was talking about it on the desk, the value of the Brimstone ult. Combo it with the Seize, and what are you gonna do?
That's so punishing if they try and fight for the showers control.
Now the question is, does Som choose to invest his ult to try and retake? NRG's retakes have been so much better recently. But with a player dead and Fade ulted.
No way. The trail, the Prowler just ran straight past it. Som, he's managed to catch a disgusting timing running forwards. He can't hear a thing. It just makes him more fearless as well, running into the fray. Still, it's the 1v2. The Brimstone Molly, I mean, impossible to really play this now with the time whittling down, and he opts to just save it. 25 health. Coming back a percentage play from him.
Yeah, he'll at least keep a gun into the next round, and NRG should have built up a bit of an economic buffer. What a play by EG over towards Showers. They're such a good team in terms of how they approach different areas of the map with this composition. And both of these teams have taken a new direction with Bind. Just to take a look, you know, big picture of the compositions, Double Controller has been meta on this map forever.
And this here as well, this is just thinking one layer ahead once more. NRG are on this defense round, they're not going to play a player within lamps because they know the Brim ult's online.
Yeah.
It's a common area to get use of the ultimate.
And they use the Seekers to push the player back and force them to retreat towards bench. Suddenly
they know
you're
the
caught by
exact positioning. Yeah, they got a Seize lineup for it.
The timing is just perfect. Is NRG getting really aggressive towards long?
Tagging into one player, nades, Boostio has to run away.
But they weren't aware of the positioning of Reform, tucked incredibly close down to B long. There's a 3-player stack right now over on B from NRG. They need rounds like these.
Jogomo is so deep in hookah right now. All the space that was taken off the back of that B long push from NRG early.
Question is, can they punish Hazed here? And they do.
It's just
Hazed and EG.
They can see the traces with the Vandals in play, and Jogomo, he's popping off. Cracked open the sight. No worries whatsoever. Doesn't matter there was a smoke in the way. He just fires wherever the bullets are coming from.
Yeah. And they caught 2 picks at the same time there, because not only was EU punished inside hookah, or from inside hookah, but Hazed went for a little info peek towards B long as well, because EG had completely cut noise. And he ends up getting punished there in Octagon. EG are running away with this attack side. And yeah, like I said, if you dial out, Double Controller has been meta on Bind forever. And both of these teams are now going with solo controller comps. And I think EG have just loaded their composition with useful utility for this map.
Yeah.
The Fade, the Sky, the Chamber are all so good. So one of the big reasons they were able to win against Optic was because they innovated their compositions on Bind and Ascent. Guess what maps they're playing today? Bind and Ascent. They're going to be playing the DRX Triple Initiator comp on the next map too. And in my opinion, the comp that they're running right now with the Brimstone, the Fade, Sky, Chamber, Raze, I think this might be the new wave on Bind too. I think they're really setting the tempo.
So much going for it, honestly, as well. It's not just the fact, though, Josh, that you were talking about all the utility that they can use, all the tools that they've got at their disposal when you're running this comp, but they have a lot of little ideas. It's
yeah, there's a lot of ways
prepared for this.
A lot of ways that they combo up together.
Yeah.
NRG take a timeout here, down 6-1. NRG have made a fantastic run after barely scraping into playoffs. They have been taking names.
They really have. Almost the Grim Reapers of the playoffs of Stage 2. They knocked out Guard in Week 5. That was a straight-up fight to see who would be in the playoffs. Ended up winning that one.
And then they eliminate Ghost.
Yeah.
After Ghost were punched down into the lower bracket, NRG finish them off.
Against most people's expectations.
And I think in this situation, Brent, a lot of people were expecting the same. Optic punch EG and absolutely flatten them in that match.
Knocked down to the lower, you expect them, okay.
Knocked down into the lowers, and you're wondering what their mental resilience looks like. But it seems, on Bind at least, on their map pick, they've come in with a serious fight. Still got that fire inside of them to prove that they are a top team worthy of everybody's respect. Whenever you talk to the EG players, that seems to be the thing that's driving them. We're better than people think we are.
EG definitely leading in this series in terms of the first kills. Comparative to what NRG have been able to get. Now, NRG have made improvements on it, honestly. All their stats are looking up, including when they're putting those 4v5s. Tex, this is so aggressive.
Yeah, and from Boostio's perspective, it looked like he wasn't expecting it at all. Caught completely unaware.
I think sometimes plays like that are what is necessary. When Tex has got the hero rifle, it's alongside Ethan as well. Still, Jorgamo answers back. He knows the angle for that one. They might be pushed up onto it.
Fantastic awareness. The Haunt is not getting dealt with as well. Comm's Haunt is finding so much value on these B hits.
Showstopper, let rip. That's the aftershock. Does a bit of damage, chunks through him, but Ethan is going to push through with his own flash. Still cleaned up, regardless.
Just a bit of a wall bang there.
Yeah.
Takes down Ethan, finishes him off on 7 health.
Left up to EU. He can hit a plant, though. No one's actually covering this one angle. Maybe they didn't expect him to be there, but he has denied that plan for but a moment. A quick dodge. The flash doesn't quite connect onto him. That's the position. The Sheriff not finding the shot, though. Reformed will put an end to any sort of tomfoolery.
An NRG's timeout designed for this upcoming gun round. NRG have really struggled with gun rounds across the group stages, but in their most recent 2 games, against Guard, against Ghost, that number's improved pretty dramatically. They've gone from winning about 45% of their gun rounds to 2/3 of their gun rounds. Massive improvement. And I think a lot of it's come down to what Hazed was talking about in their most recent interview. They've really sat down and tried to figure out their defense, but it's not working here. And mostly, it's that they can't deal with the overwhelming utility coming out on these execs from EG.
You're just playing catch-up.
Yeah. They're not anticipating where the Haunts are going to come through, which positions can be safe.
You have to be so well drilled, honestly.
If Tex can find an opener here, though, maybe the rest of his team can convert now that they all have rifles.
And Tex is typically the player to do it for NRG. This guy has been in prime form recently. The numbers he's been putting up.
Gets a lot of their first kills on defense.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one who often opens things for the team when they need it. But now, once more, EG going to be set up for this one. Jorgamo actually with a slight whiff there on a satchel, I think, but he does get into the site regardless. Now he needs a bit of assistance from the rest of the team, and he's got it. They are efficiently just taking space. Hayes do his best to try and shut once more down that spike plan, but he's removed once from the site. 2 players now left standing here for NRG. Tex and EU, what have they even got to work with? Rifles. The util's not really coming online for a while yet. Sees the clear through. Does force that rendezvous back.
Small victories, I suppose. But NRG still left in a player disadvantage situation where EU got wallbang headshot too. Only 44 health.
1 enemy remaining.
And it's
just
cleaned
like
up all
that,
too quickly.
it's done.
So that wasn't actually a whiffed blast pack through short. It was Hazed using his suck. He was trying to pull in short to stop this site hit, and I feel like that's one of the major tools they have at their disposal.
Right.
Hayes is running Astra here, which should be good against races that are trying to get into the site. That's why Jorgamo is vulnerable. But the problem is he just powers through it. If you're trying to pull on short with the new box setup that's been added there, it's very possible for people to still get around that.
Sure.
And Hayes just isn't quite finding the same value. It feels like in general, NRG are struggling to understand whether they should be trying to fight the choke point or play passively. This time EG take a very quick showers.
Chocomo's already in. Set up the satchels ahead of time.
And now Com's got his ult.
I mean, this is a fast play off the rip. You can see the Nightfall being held, but the timing being caught. Still a stun. He can't quite follow up on it. It was a great attempt by NRG. Ready and waiting to try and fight over that one. Ethan again, reminiscent of the round that they won. The only round that they've won so far, with the Rolling Thunder being sent straight up through here. The Aftershock and the timing. How does Apoth get that? He shouldn't be favored.
Not in the slightest. And it's a 2v4. There's a couple of weak players. Reformed Apoth. Barely any health between them, but now Reformed gets out that healing aura. And suddenly it's even more difficult for NRG.
I mean, this is a flattening.
It really is.
A flattening.
It seems like EG came into this game and decided, you know what happened to us yesterday against Optic? We're going to do the same thing to NRG.
He's having to use 2 stars just to break through into Lamb's time running so low here. No one's quite watching the angle, though. But Apoth sends that Brimstone Molotov flying through the air. Half on the defuse for EU. Not going to be able to stick that for much longer. And Apoth, cool, calm, and collected.
Even if
Apoth standing. Even if he fell.
Even if he
still got it.
He's still got the molly on the spike there. It is just destruction in map 1. NRG's same problems cropping up again where they can't get the defense working. This plays look gorgeous.
I like it.
They found the perfect timing to be able to get back in, retake showers, with the flash coming out from Ethan. They just, I guess the timing was slightly too late, like a fraction of a second for them not to be able to get the success out of the kills.
Yeah.
But I think you have to give much more credit to EG. Their bind looks monstrous. There's a haunt lineup from EU. Quite a nice idea.
A few of the players. Tex whips it around, adjusts the aim. He does grab the one, but traded. Now you see just a swarm of utility once more. How do you deal with this one? The horns, everything. The pulse used preemptively. EU has to hold down this common angle, and he does grab two. The spam being left into Hookah now. Finally, NRG find themselves with a bit of an advantage in a round. Feels like it's been a while since we've seen this.
Essentially 5 stacking the site off the back of the haunt, catching a couple of people. They finally hold one of them off. Only a single player left alive. And EU with a great round.
Nicely done, EU.
4 players on the board. Had his ultimate online already. But is 2 going to be enough? Is 3 going to be enough? I like the preemptive utility usage there. I think the suck from Hazed underneath Hookah is a good idea. Comboed with the fault line. Allowed everybody from NRG to focus thoroughly on Octagon.
Yeah, anything
and
to
get
slow
all of those
them down.
kills. But it just feels too late. They've adjusted to the tempo that EG are throwing at them. But it cost them 9 rounds.
Well,
You want to play? Let's play.
maybe one more round could be a turning point, but EG slowing down the pace tremendously of this one, and Tex taking risks. That's what he's known for. That's an operator, no armor. Push past the range of safety with his teleport, with his rendezvous.
He
Does open things up.
Has to make plays like that. Has to take risks like that to find success. And NRG have their stack in the right position here. 3-2 split over towards B. But as the players drop off, can Hayes get the read?
Honestly, this is looking a bit more favorable for them. They've got showers control. Boostio just holding on to that one. All the stars are also laid down for that B pop. A pop down means they're not going to have the smokes to split the site up, so Tex should have a free line of sight angle, assuming he's not flashed off of it. Trailblazer sends it up, now to Nightfall.
Just didn't catch onto Som. Tex with the opening pick as well. Leaves it into a 3v5.
That's a good answer for them. The Cosmic Divide splits up the site. EG now left scrambling, wondering what the hell do we do here. The Haunt over the top, still positioning, not really known with 30 seconds left, and Tex still got that one sightline on lock. Som playing up close and personal. Showstopper now out in his hands. Let's it rip and nowhere to run for Reform. The 3rd round for them. NRG will be going into this next half with a glimmer of hope, honestly. Their only hope going to be probably winning off that pistol round. Going to go to a short break on the other side of things. We'll just see, can EG close this one out in a clean fashion, or is it going to be NRG scraping and crawling their way back? Josh, we've casted a lot of 9-3 comebacks, and listen, if it happens here, no complaints from me. We cast a longer map. But EG have come out swinging. A real statement map from them, I think, after a bit of a crushing defeat.
Yeah, they're looking to showcase that they're much better than they showed in that loss against Optic, where they themselves got destroyed. EG's defensive pistol rounds, normally they like to set up a Boostio in a position where he can do some damage, playing with the rendezvous inside Hookah. But this is a similar pistol round that they've run before. Again, just pulling the same pistol round strats out that they played against Optic. Can NRG feel this one out?
They have to win this pistol round. They have to take away one of the advantages that EG have got going for them.
Boostio is so nasty with this headhunter. NRG just walking into him.
Trying to subtly clear the angles. You can see Som there ready and waiting. He just jiggles it out.
Both chambers finding value on the opposite sides of the map, though. And both taking down the entry players on the other side. Som, Jorgamo hit the deck. And the question now for NRG is, what do you do here?
Yeah, if you're relying on Som to be your entry man, let's take away a bit of the oomph, I think.
Apoth has pushed up really deep in showers currently, after a Prowler forced away Tex. And Com was thinking about rotating over to B. That play got cancelled.
This could be very dangerous.
Tex can clear this.
He's clearing it. He's aware, he can see it. Slight edge of it! You're joking! You are joking!
That cannot be allowed to happen! No way! Apoth is a demon!
Absolute frenzy moment. Dodges the bullets. I mean, listen. The slight angle that Apoth sees there. He sees the shoulder of Apoth.
Yeah, and Tex sees his shoes.
Tex thinks it's enough. Tries to aim where he thinks the head might be.
And he just misses it by a fraction.
Look at this.
But what on earth is the response from Apoth? How does he hit these headshots through the wall? I mean, what is that?
What is that?
And instantly flicks onto Ethan. Every player on EG is a freak in the pistol rounds.
Yeah, that's nasty.
How can you beat a team if they win this level of pistols? If the players are that good in the pistol rounds, you have to hope they miss these shots.
NRG not able to get that spike down, which means they can't even force into this round. Just playing as an eco. 3-10 being the scoreline. It's not even ideal. Petition for them to lower the utility of the drone as well, Josh, down to 300 so I can buy a frenzy when I'm playing sober. we should push for that, I think.
It is a crazy weapon. NRG made this round a little close in the first half. Even after EG had taken a couple of picks to start. But they're going to need to win this one. And without a spike plant down, they couldn't afford to go for a force. Even though it seems like it would be a good idea down 3-10. Just trying to flood out of hookah, drop down with a haunt.
Yeah, seeing if the players can get in.
And they have. They've gotten pretty deep onto the site.
Being cleaned up though, no one really anticipating. There could be one just tucked away into Octagon. That's going to be the round win for EG, just cleaning it up. Obviously, no buy online, but NRG backs against the wall for this map. This is it.
Yeah, this is just...
They've got the money, they can buy the rifles up.
So difficult. So difficult for NRG to mount any sort of comeback.
I feel like it's incredibly difficult as well for NRG. They're a team that I think they play quite fluid in terms of the way that they approach the maps and games. Not necessarily prep-based, but more like adapting to what's happening to them.
Yes.
And for a team like EG, when they have so many different looks, both on defense side, attack side, you never really know what's coming your way until suddenly there's a seize, there's an A, there's an orbital strike, it doesn't matter.
I think EG have definitely put a lot of thought into this. They're a grind-heavy team. They like to prep. And this will have been a bit of a scramble for them. Finding themselves in the lower bracket. Not a position they would have liked to be in.
No,
maybe not a position they expected to be in. Look how deep Ethan... Oh, sorry, not Ethan. Boostio currently is. Boostio is miles behind them.
Oh, no. The trademark being set down, timinged. Ships in the night. Lucio's going to be catching this one, though. Is he going to be able to hit his footsteps? Close angle. Shots rattled off Tex. Okay, whips it around.
Well, Boostio doesn't normally miss those. Having said that, he was likely to get traded out anyway by the second player, EU, sprinting his way through cave.
It does give information.
And they've smoked off the trademark at top short.
Yeah.
There's another flank, another push.
Another flank coming through from EG, and this time they are rewarded with the one. This time, though, NRG not holding back. They're going to start execing fast, trying to take that space, but they need to try and hold this angle. Jorgamo, you can't be doing that to the man. You can't be doing that.
Oh, not like this.
And Gom just pushes through.
Absolutely filthy.
Up close and personal, but now the 1v1, Ethan versus Jorgamo. The health advantage for him. Ethan gets the spike down. Can play it in the post plant, but just the accuracy. Jorgamo is an absolute menace to society.
He is. It doesn't matter what he's playing. If it's the Raze, if it's the Jet.
How do you keep up against this?
His new role as the entry player for EG has just been spectacular. He's been on a run of form that's white hot. And sure, he did get shut down very heavily against Optic. But that's the key to beating them. You have to have a player that can duel Jorgamo and win.
Yeah, he's currently world-class caliber players to do so.
It does. But also, what an unexpected timing for this. I love the idea here. And it works because the trademark is set up on top short. It's not in the default position around market. They're worried about a short push there, and the short push comes, but it's the trademark getting smoked off as Apoth and Jorgamo push together down short. And NRG aren't expecting Boostio to be flanking down B long and Jorgamo and Apoth to be pushing. It's a bonus round strat that completely crushes NRG. And this map is... Any hope of a comeback has now been squashed.
Yeah,
I feel.
You needed to take the pistol. You needed to at least get the ball rolling.
yeah, win the anti-bonus at least and stop EG from getting some kind of crazy momentum.
But now this timeout's taken, wondering, okay, what do we do about this? What do we do about Jorgamo, who's currently sitting at 20 and 10?
EG have only lost a single map where they won both of the pistols. And you can see why. That was against Optic. Again, the theme with EG seems to be, you've got to be world-class to beat this team. And obviously, they did get stomped when they went up against world-class Optic, the second time around at least.
Yeah.
Managed to beat them in the groups.
Looking like something special, this team.
They're putting on a show.
Where this is going. Bit of a jump horn line up there for Com. Gets a bit of information. It's over the top. I think that's the one that he's been throwing. It covers out towards Fountain. It just pushes away, staves away that aggression from NRG, where they were dumping a bit of utility early into B. But it seems like it's just been red. The stars are dropped down. The rotation's already there. Com is just happy to just play with the rest of his team now. And Boostio just being pressured. You can see they're trying to base some sort of swing. What?
I can't believe it.
Is that kind of discipline, man? What is that?
I cannot believe that he's so confident to stay on that angle, even after his opponents know exactly where it is.
Well, the nade is going to soften him up. Ethan is granted a freebie. Jorgamo pushing forwards, the satchel and the Trailblazer. No time wasted. What is this guy doing?
Damage onto Hazed as well.
Bro, this guy is playing like a 250 APM gamer, man. I don't understand what I'm seeing. The decisions he's making, and now with form left, though. It's a 1v2, but he's now just made it a 1v1. All the pressure in the world, and the map is secured. How do you compete? I mean, EG are just flattening their opponents.
That is absurd. Get a bit of confidence into these guys, and they are masters. If you're going to beat Evil Geniuses, you need to hit them early and hit them hard, because there is no way you're keeping up with that. What are these plays?
Red Bull clutch to end it. I mean, Jorgamo just instantaneous. No hesitation with the decision making with that.
And normally, maps that are rolls like this are not so entertaining to watch. But I could watch 5 of these.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go to a short break. Our desk is going to break down map 1 and, of course, set up that map number 2 as well. So don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone, to the VCT North American Stage 2 playoffs, where we just had map number 1 between NRG and EG. It was on Bind. And this was the map pick coming out from Evil Geniuses, and I have to say that was a very, very quick first map. We knew that we were going to be seeing a lot of dominance coming out from the side of Jorgamo, and I feel like our pre-show segments could not have been more apt, because that is exactly what we saw from that first map.
Yeah, I mean, Jorgamo just comes in. It's a complete shellacking from the Evil Geniuses. Absolutely dominant on the side hits. I think, again, the way EG play Bind, it's all about taking early space with Jaw, whether it's him double satcheling in towards showers or just playing with the Roomba into hookah. His early aggression really enables them to sort of slow down the round and pivot off the space.
Yeah, it was really excellent. And the thing is, I don't think it's even fully relying on Jorgamo. The use of utility from the initiators on the side of Evil Geniuses is just so excellent that even if he messes up a blast pack, misses a kill, the supportive line is there to immediately trade him on out and find the frags necessary to win the round.
I also think it means that if he is in a situation where he's using his satchels early in a round, we saw a couple times whether it was for showers or sometimes he even got stalled out by enemy utility, whether it was grab well or breach stun, like those things were stalling him out, and he doesn't have the ability to jump further into sight. He has flashes to enable him in. You can see so many times he was pushing sides, and it worked out so well even starting back to the
Yeah, and I think that the thing is beyond that for Jorgamo is that it's not just a kind of a one-pronged idea. I think a lot of teams, NRG in particular, was a team that did this in towards the group stage where they have this cool comp, they have a few ideas going on, and that's not the case. Even though EG runs a pretty structured style, they're very apt to make plays on the fly, change their utility usage up to make that call in the mid-round.
Yeah, again, another example there. Out of satchels, but you still have the utility in the back of the site. You have the blood trail as well that Jorgamo's going to follow all the way into U-Haul. You could see, like, this is what's so impressive, because a lot of players would go backside and be trolling, would be dying, would be overextending, but because it's playing off its utility, he's able to get that very quick flank, not worry about anyone rotating through spawn and get it. Look at this play. Throws out the blast pack early.
It's so
in case
good.
someone's in market. He can jump backward. Also, because he throws out early, he takes out the knife to get extra speed there to catch the two players out of market. I mean, this guy's movement, this decisions he makes with his utility is just impeccable.
Now, I'm glad that you pointed out the initiator utility coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses, because we saw Giacomo just popping off, and it's really easy to just hyper-focus on the frags that we saw coming out of him, but you're right. The initiator utility coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses is a large part of why they were able to win in such a resounding fashion. Break it down for us.
Yeah, so there was a round I wanted to take a look at here, and I think the biggest point to take away from this is that it wasn't just that EG was great and didn't run up against any interference. NRG actually had some ideas on how to shut things down. There's a round I want to take a look at here. As we see on the map, EG has himself set up for a split in towards A, 2 players over towards Showers, 2 players over in the short side. For NRG, they have a pretty heavy Showers presence with their breach already coming on over.
I'm not sure if we've actually... I'm sorry to cut you off. We had a baby telestrator up there for a
I'm looking at my own screen.
Look, you're in like in the Matrix.
I got transported already.
I liked it. Look, and again, right, you are right. They were doing such a great job of busting out all the utility, like you were mentioning, with like the grab wall that came in and shut down the initial site hit.
Yeah, they tried to find those moments to deny. I don't know if we'll actually get to take a look at the actual
ready
round.
now?
There we go. We're back in action. Yeah, so what I was saying with, let's start from the top again, but we have 2 players here over towards the Shower side. We have 2 players in short for Evil Geniuses, and on the other side of things, NRG is set up. They want to make a heavier play here in towards Showers. 2 players set up in that area, and they also have the breach rotating on over. The reason they can have such a heavy presence in Shower is because they have 2 Aster Stars right there that'll try and slow things down on the hit. As we let things play out a little bit, you see EG initially is taking things slower. Now they're ready to go in towards short. Giacomo pops up that blast pack, and what's great is that EG times the initiator utility perfectly. A Haunt comes in right here. This will clear out the back lines, either back in towards danger, behind triple, even back behind the truck, or if someone's peeking right here outside of U-Haul, which means Giacomo has a pretty clean entry in towards the site. On the other side, you'll see eventually a Sky Flash will come on in, and these players will push. As it plays out a little bit, NRG have the right idea. The grab well hits, Giacomo is shut down, he's stuck in the open, he's slowed, and he no longer has any of the utility that's normally so good to win these rounds, but because of that Haunt aforementioned, nobody in these backlines can swing. Sam is trying to throw a grenade right here, but it's just too late. Giacomo will already find space, make his way out on towards the site, and now the next layer of utility comes on in. A Seize goes towards the back of truck, and Giacomo pushes off of that. You mentioned this in the replays, but the trails of the Haunt are shown. The players scale together, and then it's just a pinch on towards U-Haul. Hayes has to make a play, swings forward, tries to deny it, but is unable to do so. Even when NRG had the right ideas, the implementation still wasn't there to fully deny EG.
Yeah, and I love like how complex that play can be, because Giacomo in his own had to do so much, but at the same time he was taking short control. Boostio was playing contact through Showers. We actually saw John only had 2 first kills in that game, and that's because Boostio was taking a lot of the initial contact. He walked all the way up Showers. He actually pushes down to triple as well, and he's clearing the person on the right side of triple that allows Jaw to get that big flank and loop back through U-Haul.
It was crazy because after that crazy first half, I think a lot of NRG fans are maybe hoping to see a little bit of a comeback potential, but then we saw Giacomo say, absolutely not. Let me just get it 4K here, wrap things up with a nice little bow. And now we're going to be headed into map number 2, and it is going to be on Ascent. This is NRG's map pick. And Mimi, it's interesting because this is a map that they actually haven't played too frequently. In fact, in the group stage, they only played it once. Yeah,
they did beat TSM when they played it the one time, and they had a pretty cool comp. They had both the KO and as well as the Fade on this one. I thought it looked good for them, but they don't tend to send this choice too often. I'm a little worried for them because for Evil Geniuses, like the casters were saying, this is the second map they beat Optic on. They have such a great understanding of this map. The way that they play on the initiators, again, it's a very similar style to Bind that works well for them.
Yeah, I think like Ascent can be a map that you can run into some issues if you don't have like constant information control over mid, right? If you lose a player early on, players can all of a sudden start creeping up into market, break your Sentinel utility, and then all of a sudden you have to worry about like, is someone in my spawn? Is someone going to market? Can they walk up catwalk? Like having multiple initiators and specifically scouting tools on those initiators just gives you so much ability to just throw it out, be comfortable like, oh, no one's walking into tree. We only have to worry about one entrance into the site and you shut down AB.
Yeah, and it's not just 1 or 2. It's not just the Sova. They run triple initiators. They're the team that kind of pioneered this. Optic went on to steal this comp after they lost to it. So it's clear that EG, while they're a newer team at this level, they're one that is still setting the precedent. There is tape out of them on this map, obviously, because they have played it a little bit more. But I think a setup like this is really incredibly tough to prep against, especially considering how a similar idea around the initiators worked for NRG in map number 1.
So we're going to be pulling up Agent Select now and get our questions answered. Ender, as we see the picks start to roll in, give us your initial thoughts.
Yeah, well, we'll see what ends up happening. Like we expect, like Silva comes through, Tech's going to be on the chamber duty. Now, me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the split on, or of the Sage on this map,
yeah.
I should end up saying. It does give you another tool to work with, but they're also now running no actual raise in their compositions. They're actually going no entry tools whatsoever, no like dive tools to actually send you into the site. I do feel like with the KO, he's going to end up playing that first entry for the team. Omen as well can get some angles where he can TP top gen if they can save a smoke to get him something like that. But overall, I think this is a team that's going to be very hard to attack with. You're going to have to play slow contact plays majorly through techs.
Yeah, I think it is interesting that both these teams are moving away from the fade raise combinations that have worked pretty well for them. I think EG in particular found a lot of success. Their pivot is instead bringing in the Sentinel in way of chamber. It's been a great role for Busio. I'm not surprised by that. I think this still plays to their strengths, even if it is a different role for Jaw. I'm more worried about this comp out of NRG. I think you're absolutely right that Sage can oftentimes feel pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah, right. Especially like if you're having to commit your Sage Wall early on in rounds, I think that teams can just play a little bit slower, time that out. If they throw a Sage Wall right at the start of round, you wait 40 seconds, you still have a minute left on the clock to play out the rest of your round. So late round Sage Walls, if NRG can save it into the mid to late round, then they can be very, very powerful. But otherwise, I'm not a huge fan of the pick.
Well, it looks like NRG's backs are against a wall. Can they take the second map and tie up the series 1-1? Sideshow at Bren, all yours.
Thank you very much, Des Crew. Yes, I mean, you guys highlighting the importance of these compositions and how they're going to be playing a part of this next upcoming map as well. And NRG's comp, they're starting on its attack side, Josh. And honestly, you know, no duelists, no real way to hard engage into a lot of these sites. You might be finding it lacking tools, I think, to try and get deep in there, but they're already not messing around whatsoever. The Prowler comes through. It's a fast play through B main. They spot out the trademark, and even the dash used by Jorgamo just to respect his opponents. They've already taken up the site.
Yeah, honestly, this is a bit of a swap-up where NRG are playing a comp that's more similar to EG's previous one. It's not quite triple initiator. You've got some playing Sage instead of, you would have a Sova here had it been a copied version of it, but yeah. I think it's going to play in a similar manner where you're relying on side execs, huge amounts of utility being dumped out, and scaling together, pushing together to mitigate the need for having a duelist. So I'm almost getting a cheeky pick there with the Draker's Wall.
I mean, he is really being pressured so hard here, right around the side. Strogamo drops down to the deck, but he's got his teammates from the back of the site. Backing him up once more, all down to Com. 5 players left standing, though. Good luck to you. A bit of a spam of it. He's collected the headshots right through the wall, but at the end of the day, NRG granted a free sight on that pistol round. A great beginning for them.
Yeah, there was nobody defending B for Evil Geniuses, and NRG run a full B side exec off the rip and find success. What would that look like had EG been defending there? I don't know. Maybe it would be a little more successful. Maybe it would be a bit more contested, I should say. I'm confused, Brent, honestly, coming into this map at why EG have decided to shift away from what was working. DRX have pioneered this triple initiator comp. EG pick it up as well, have a ton of success with it. Then Optic pick it up after EG beat them. And now they move back to running Jorgamo Jet. I mean, Jorgamo's feeling himself, obviously. And the Jet is going to allow him to take a lot of aggressive duels. Puts Jorgamo and Busio in a position where they can catch timings, take duels, still manage to escape, be untradeable.
Yeah.
But it still seems a bit weird to move away from what was working. They had a formula.
I did, maybe expecting that other teams would be doing their prep on it, looking at the weaknesses.
Maybe that's what this stranger comp coming out from NRG is designed to be.
Yeah.
A counter to the triple initiator that we'll never get to see.
Expecting it.
Who knows what these teams were expecting from each other based on match data, scrim data. It's Jorgamo and Busio, though, with the pistols.
Yeah, man. Headhunters, sheriffs. Actually working out with the player advantage now.
Busio is pushing mid off the back of this, so
they're not wasting time.
They know this is coming A.
One dropped across. Som's able to get the wall, cut across to the switch there, so nobody playing in the door, but within the smoke. Apoff, an opportunity for him. Could have potentially grabbed 1 or 2. Sight's still going to be gained, though.
Com should be able to get a weapon back from top mid, so...
Has he?
Yeah, he's got a Spectre online.
The timing!
Brutal for EU. Would have been able to one-shot Com had he just held that angle for another quarter of a second.
Push back. Oh my goodness. The bullet tag! Com is given the perfect timing, but his positioning is known. 2 players left on the side for NRG, and they double sewing him. Great Fundamentals.
Yeah, nice timing to pick on that one as well. And Som coming out with the kills that his team needs. He is 7-1 currently.
Oh my goodness.
That's a large advantage. Rez already online, although it's quite a situational ultimate. But NRG really relied on Som to be able to get them a lot of kills, a lot of value in their game, just that they played recently on Icebox. I think Som is one of those players where if he can have a big game and ends up performing better than Jorgamo, Boostio on the other side of things, you're looking at a very different equation to what we looked at on Bind.
Yeah.
Som's a player that's mostly been quiet across Stage 2, but he's had moments. One of them
his
being
role as well has been quite
Icebox against
scattered.
Ghost.
It hasn't really been able to play one individual. I mean, sometimes he's playing out of Yoru, the Omen, or whatever. I mean, this guy, he's been the central point of them experimenting with all these different compositions as well.
Yeah, he's been playing a ton of different stuff. And again, here, choosing not to play a duelist role. The game that I'm talking about on Icebox, he's playing Omen as well. So it really isn't limited to when you can get someone Jet, for example. He can still have those big performances, but it's about being in position to get these kills. Obviously, we've got a tech pause at the moment. We're working on getting that one sorted. But it's a great start right now for NRG. And I've got to be honest with you, Brent, I'm confused as to how this composition is going to work. If you think about the comp that NRG are running without the duelist on the attack side here, they're going to be playing almost all heavy burst into sites, I think. Because trying to default and work picks with this composition,
I don't think it works too well.
It doesn't seem like it would work great.
When they're going to be able to play these one-and-done angles and play aggressively. It shouldn't, in theory, but I mean, I don't know. Who knows? That's the theory of it.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. I'd be very interested to know at the end of this game whether NRG had picked it, thinking EG were going to roll out with that triple initiator comp.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they thought the Sage Walls were a really important tool to have on the defense side against a team that's going to be relying so much on utility timings. If you can wall them off, does that help? Instead, we're getting sent into unusual territory. Jorgamo Boostio still finding important kills, or at least kills that give you some confidence that they're going to be able to find success in gun rounds.
Look at this here. This is NRG grouping up for another fast plane to B, but they're going to be running into con with this Odin. Spam ready and waiting, and he's found the angle. They have been turned into mincemeat. No opportunity for EU. Trying to grab a bit of that space. The res comes online. Tyner with the resurrect that's being used to reload. I mean, he does get it off at the end of the day, but the space is being gained. Jorgamo playing up close and personal with them. He takes out Tex, and they just cannot get any ground.
Oh, pushing off the back of this, too.
No way.
This is incredibly aggressive from Jorgamo and Boostio.
It's being watched. The discipline again. They just wait it out.
Yeah, I think that's a great decision to back off in the 5v3.
Not overstepping themselves.
Arguably, maybe a bit over-aggressive to even be pushing in the 5v4, but it's nice to grab some information and let them know whether or not B main is still being contested. And we asked the question, what would that pistol round B exec look like if EG had actually been anchoring some players there? Well, we get our answer on this round. NRG with rifles in hand chose not to go for such a heavy bonus. EU and Hazed fully investing with the Vandals. They've been shut down a little here.
Out up top, hard to break that one. Obfuscated, Violas leaves the greenery. Now to random spam, Jorgamo. I mean, it is literally just suppressive fire. He's able to take space off of it. He knows the angle's not going to be pushed.
Yeah, they're getting a huge amount of value out of this Odin so far.
As well. I mean, Hayes and EU, they can't do anything.
Well, I think this might be one of the big problems with NRG's composition. We'll have to have a look at how they pivot in the mid-round, but Hazed is one of the IGLs that we have in North America. Oh, are they going to get away with this? Not quite. Maybe EU's going to be able to save a weapon here. It would be brutal if they can't get even a single Vandal. But Hazed is one of the IGLs in North America that acts a bit more on improvisation and adapting to his opponents rather than having set executes most of the time. And so he really enjoys the mid-rounding aspect. I think that's where Hazed as an IGL really flourishes, is when he can have interesting, creative mid-rounding. This composition, I'm not sure plays to his strengths as an IGL, just because it looks to be very exec-heavy.
It's so purposeful.
And you can see here that when they lose players early in the round, planning to go for a B-exec, it did seem to struggle a bit in terms of pivoting around the map.
They don't have the map control from preemptively playing around in the rounds prior, obviously.
Well, this is going to be
the very beginning of things.
This is going to be a bit more of a default. They've forced up into this round. 3 rifles, 2 sheriffs. If NRG lose this,
it's a weird one.
It's going to be devastating. Bit of a prowler to try and take mid. They're fighting for a little bit of mid control, a bit of A main control.
Well. I mean, they got Boostio pushed up deep into mid, and Jorgamo just playing in pizza. That one angle as well. Just when you think you've cleared out one of the players, Jorgamo's there with a bit of a dash escape as well, the mechanism. He's able to play off of one another.
And he's just baiting for Boostio right now. It feels to NRG like there's only a single player in mid. Are they going to be diligent enough to clear Boostio? They are.
Wow. I mean, a bit shocked that Tex was able to get that one. He was being tagged up by bullets, slowed to a crawl as he was trying to take that angle.
But EG are still dynamic on the defense. They've recon darted and pushed out B main. But they're pretty confident this is going to be a split through A.
Holding close, Apop though, he's eating a ton of damage in the angle he took. Just a little bit off with the timing. Tex punishes him, shuts him down. Looking good for them when NRG invested so heavily into this one, not even with a rifle in the hands of every single member. The wall dropped. Now they can start playing these post plants.
Com would be able to shred this Sage wall with Zodin, but he's positioned over by Heaven. There's a flank coming through currently. No trademark to try and stop Jorgamo. But does he go for it? It looks like EG are planning to save here in the 3v5. Jorgamo's going to try and play exits though. I think they've got to be aware of the economy situation here, and any exit kills are going to be difficult for NRG to deal with next round. EG have got a bit of a cushion in terms of their the price point that they're currently sat at. Jorgamo pops his dash, preparing for these exits.
And Jorgamo's happy to take this angle as well. I mean, he's two all points away from grabbing those Blade Storm, even though he's got money to buy next round anyway. But okay, just backs away. It's nice to keep the weapon in the end.
And so NRG get out of that one very nicely. And that one was a bit more of a default into an A split, so their composition can work in that way. NRG themselves now working with a little bit of a cushion. Swap over a Vandal into Som's hands. We're going to have another one of these gun rounds. I said on Bind, if you want to beat EG, you have to hit them early, hit them hard. That's what NRG are trying to do. Build up a bit of momentum.
Boostio's not really being set up too well here. Okay, he's dropped down into tiles. There's a dart. You have to be scared now of this kind of presence.
Love it.
It's the Odin spam. Is something cooked up?
Absolutely love it. That Odin shreds through the metal barriers on the tiles walls. And they're able to get value out of that. Such a cool set play from EG. But are they able to convert now? NRG losing players early certainly hurt them round 3.
The main controller's there. Is Ethan grabbing this orb? That's going to be the low command, and there's no time wasted. Instantly pops off that ultimate. The fragment goes over the top, and with the spam of the Odin, gives him prime position for Hayes to take him out. Knows exactly where he is from the line of sight. Boostio, paranoid, fully blind, still gets the one. You've got to be joking. The pressure is from every single angle, but where is his teammates? Reform tries to follow up straight from the staircase. Jorgamo as well, pushing up onto lane. It's an even fight, 2v2. Looking into this, Spike's still not down, and Som wants to play aggressively right up to it with his teammate. Helping him out of the back. Just about comes out on top.
Really nice pressure from NRG, being able to save a 4v5 round there. And Ethan's swinging backside as he flicks 180 degrees to deal with both Boostio in backside and then turn around on lane. This is a gorgeous set play to start off with.
You got to appreciate it, haven't you?
You really do.
It's so nice.
But the fact that they're able to recover this one is impressive to me.
I think it bodes really well for NRG.
It certainly does. It's NRG answering questions about how their composition's going to work in these scrappier scenarios. They pivot into a B hit off the back of the null command and find a huge amount of value.
Major win condition for NRG has to be shutting down Jorgamo and Boostio, making sure they don't get that great value.
And to be honest, Jorgamo and Boostio still did get a couple of good kills in that round.
Yeah.
Boostio was able to anchor back sight, still manages to take one down. I think that's more than you can expect from him when he's paranoid and getting swarmed.
One of the heavy hitters for NRG, though. One of the players that we talk about, he pops up every now and then. There's the guy sitting at the top of the scoreboard now, Som. If Som's having a good game, it makes, I think, a huge difference moving forward into this one.
Yeah.
The pressure gets taken off of Tex's shoulders a little bit in terms of what he needs to be able to do for them to be able to win this one.
And also, another factor to consider here is that when you get Ethan on KO, you get some of his best games.
Yeah.
So this comp really works to empower Ethan, I think. You'll see throughout this game him get into a lot of positions where he's able to take more gunfights, able to flash himself in, flash his opponents, flash his teammates in, sorry.
Just thrive off of that. Not being so tied into the team play aspect, I think. A bit of individuality sprinkled in for him. Boostio's got that tour de force, but okay. Suppressed to the knife. Tags him. Has to back away.
Giving up B main, but NRG are not choosing to go for a B exec here. It's another one of their A splits. Jorgamo's read it. Watch the paranoia.
Oh, Hunter's Fury straight from spawn. That's a tag. At least one of them. And the C's are going to be connecting. Jorgamo gets given just the perfect timing and all the information in the world. Yeah, just didn't know he was gliding right in front of him. Reform now from heaven as well. Rifle in hand, Phantom, and the aim is true. The heads are being found. Jorgamo just swings around the back. And it's going to be that round win for EG.
That's a great one to convert. When EG are running with tour de force and with knives. Another eco swing round where EG could have been broken after that. But they choose to invest into it. And I think the read on what's happening wins them that round. The timing on the C's, the timing on Jorgamo's rotate. Remember, Jorgamo at the beginning of this round is playing mid, but as soon as he sees the close smoke, he realizes, well, I mean, what is that? That's just ridiculous. But he realizes as soon as he sees the close smoke at mid, that that is going to be a signal for an A-split play.
So they've been doing it a couple of times now.
NRG are forcing here. These are just back. Both of these teams refuse to give up. They refuse to go on a thrifty.
I mean, Tex on half with the tour de force. So much reliance on him and the other players holding onto these rifles.
Hazed has light armor and a Spectre here too.
Just trying to buy up around it, but... Oh, it's all on Tex, isn't it? Lurking his way around here. Barrel of his gun, potentially going to be sticking away, giving away his position, but inside the smoke, Boostio tries to take the angle. Expecting one of the players.
Yeah, expecting that Apoth Smoke would not have anybody inside of it as soon as it blooms. The Tex was so quickly pushing forwards. And Hazed, meanwhile, has been holding down Gelato this entire time for them. If it was a B-pop, he still had his Omen ult to connect with the rest of his team.
Oh, EG look like they're ready to fight this.
I think Reformed is just looking to get some information and might get a rude awakening here.
It's spotted. Paranoia swings across, but you need to try and convert it. You need a couple more. How does he get the second? Prowler just running him down in his face.
It could make the round winnable. It all comes down to this fight in B main, and Com does not expect Hex to still be there. Why would he still be there?
Doesn't make too much sense, does it? But yeah, Com thought he was going to get a cheeky orb. Would have played for that one.
Now they're off back to B, and Jorgamo finds himself in a 1v3. It's another force that works.
Timing could be taken, but he wins it. That was where to anticipate Jorgamo. I mean, opportunity for Jorgamo, honestly, to do some damage. There wasn't much time on the clock towards the tail end of it, but money still in their back pocket means that should still be able to be buy for EG. But again, it's Tex who opens it up.
Yep. Tex finding the first kill.
Talking about it, the importance of being able to find those opening picks against Boostio, Jorgamo, making sure those players can't have as much value.
And EG look like they're going to be playing this defense aggressively. If you cut noise, they're going to be making an info push into you. I'm sure sometimes it's going to be with a lot of utility and it's going to be difficult to handle, like the Gelato push that was followed up with Apoth throwing his Paranoia. But if NRG can take map control and slow the game down, they might be able to find picks on Jorgamo and Boostio, who just overextend slightly. Both fighting over B main right now.
It's looking different. It's also looking pretty well executed. The wall to split up across into mid. They're trying to split into B, but do they anticipate this? Boostio, Operator, a rare miss. Players still trying to commit into this one, despite the fact that the ult is being scattered across them. The Nightfall from Reform to try and push them back. Com still with his Odin spam, but he has to reload. But now the timing's being taken. Som, he watches the angle and he gets the trade, secures it for their team. They've been bogged down. NRG can't exactly step out into these line-of-sight angles that they're being held.
But they do have that player advantage. They know there's an operator online here.
They're stuck. With Hazed falling, they don't have smokes to break that angle.
They barely have any utility. There's a single knife online.
The res is committed. It is a good trade. Still, they barrel their way through. Sheer force of will is what it feels like. Hondo returning the fire. He does catch that headshot, a stray bullet, finding Tex eventually. Now down to the 1v2. Still favored for NRG, and look, respect still being shown. Nightfall even on Com, just to make sure that he's not able to play close up and personal. Push back.
And it's such a difficult scenario because they could be coming anywhere. Com with his ears turned offline.
Yeah, no audio cue.
These guys could be pushing out B main. They could have run behind him at CT. He can't hear any footsteps. It changes the timings of the round massively in the clutch.
Forced to make a percentage play. Is he still actually going for this? Time is running so low at this point.
Yeah, he has about 10 seconds to try and get in, get both kills, and get onto the defuse. It just doesn't seem feasible.
Playing for the exits. Knows the economy is in tatters for NRG. Gets the one. Respects it enough and gets back out as well, making sure that he can keep that rifle coming into the next.
Now, NRG's economy, though, has started to develop. I don't think they'll be that worried. It's EG, in fact, that might have to take the first thrifty here. Look at the pieces that they're working with. 2,000 max on every player, come with a hero rifle. And NRG, well, you know, they don't have too much left in the coffers either. They're still going to be able to get rifles, full armor on board. So this is a huge amount of momentum building up on the side of NRG. What does that really mean? I think for EG, they've been quite a confidence-focused team. If Jorgamo feels like he's hitting every shot, he's going to go for more of the plays, and he's going to kill more of these opening duels. If you can try and shut them down early, maybe you can remove some of the threat, but Boostio has taken a walk into mid. Looks like while this A hit might come through, Boostio and Tex are going to duel it out.
Up top, pistols in hand. Oh, and here's the plays. It's a paranoia swing play. Someone's covering it, though. Grab the one. Ethan will fall. Apov as well. There's an opportunity for him to take a couple of risks, especially with Boostio and all the space that he's got right at the top of mid.
I think they heard him. Tex may have heard a footstep there and come to the rest of his team that Boostio was on a flank.
Get those guns out of there.
You do not want Apov to pick one of those up. Shouldn't really be throwing rifles into a cafe.
No, I don't think many people are attending the cafe, Josh. It's up in here. How are they getting there?
The scenery is nice.
The horn comes up. That's going to be catching up top area. There's a bit of tree as well, but there's not really too many players there. Apov was just on Cat, seeing if he can get the one. Maybe a split play. Spike planted as well. The money's going to continue to build, but a rifle was found for Com. Like he wants to try and go for this one, but Tex he's too clean with it, honestly. Precision this guy shows. He's on top form currently for this map.
He certainly is. The NRG players are heating up. And they've also posed a problem to EG that they don't have an answer for right now. A lot of these executes are finding vast amounts of value once they come through.
Yeah.
And EG, even when they stall them out, are not really getting value out of re-clearing the map. So EG like to, you know, they're going to be throwing a lot of utility, and they're going to have Jorgamo and Boostio try and duel people, catch a timing, stop a sight hit coming through from NRG. But when NRG cut noise and cancel the hit, EG are then going to re-clear the map on defense, and that's been an area where they end up getting caught out more than they find success.
A couple of bullets landed into the shins. Som's up top onto the wall. That's a predictable angle, though. You can hear that audio cue.
But all of this is meant to just draw players. It's supposed to be a bit of a fake. Ethan still finding the entry. The spike's over at A.
Fake's still dangerous, still deadly when the players are finding those pickoffs. But it's been read ever so slightly. The timing is off here. They realized there wasn't anything else after that initial wave of utility. In fact, it's a 1-for-1. Tag off onto the side. Now it's up to Boostio to see if he can find that first shot, but it's a rough one.
Do they expect him still to be in hell? I think you would normally expect the chamber to be away over towards heaven at this point.
Performed. That's it. Tag up. They know that Texas playing up close. Last player now left standing, dashing over the top. They do. They swarm his positioning. It was unorthodox, wasn't it? A rendezvous position.
But very well played, I think.
Yeah.
Overall, NRG there maybe slightly overthinking things, but it's good to throw a couple of fakes in on your attack rounds. It makes EG wonder whether or not you're really following that. And off the rip, I mean, Boostio getting this kill is the crucial one, because NRG are trying to contact into A, hoping that all of the A players have rotated, at least off the site, but there was still Boostio left there.
Yeah, but also the players were so close, they took too long with the timing. Yeah. Two of the players ended up rotating through their spawn.
Yeah.
They knew it was the fake at the end of the day.
They did know it was a fake, but had Boostio bitten on the fake, they would have still been able to get in on the A side.
Yeah, of course.
But Boostio staying resilient, just holding his position at dice, is rewarded with a kill.
Timeout for NRG after the back of losing that one. I mean, they can feel it, I suppose. Big lead in this series, in this map, I should say. You don't want to let it slip.
But their attack side has already been really successful. 7 rounds on the board.
It's the one we were, putting the most question on.
I think rightly so. I think NRG's composition, you ask questions about how it's going to function on attack. On defense, it makes perfect sense. They have incredibly powerful defensive agents to work with here. So for EG, on the defense side of Ascent, I think they're looking at minimum grabbing the next 2 rounds. With how good EG have been at pistols, maybe they only need 1 more.
Yeah, but
Get it back to 7-6, but...
it's a difficult ask.
Oh, 8-6, I suppose that would be.
I mean, NRG's comp has got so many tools for slowing things down, but enough about that. It's a buy round on either side. Both of these teams are butting heads. That C's connecting onto 4 players, it looks like. The trail's just rotating around.
How did Apoth not grab a kill? Hayes was running in with utility in his hands, and Apoth just not able to select a single target out of the massive bodies.
Weakened up. Weakened up doesn't equal a kill.
It doesn't. Some decent damage done to Ethan and Hayes, and the C's finds value. You're kind of looking at Boostio now. There's going to be a couple of players going over, maybe just trying to apply some pressure for the A re-hit. I suppose the question here is about the timing. NRG messing it up slightly, a little too slow in the previous round on their B fake. Here the idea is that these B players are going to make noise, try and spread out the rotators again, and they're going to re-hit the A site. You can see there the Fade, the Chamber going away, making some noise at B and trying to regroup back in Gelato. Jorgamo looking like he has the read, but there's not going to be anybody coming through Cat.
Yeah, it's just EG playing, I think, fully expecting some kind of play happening. I can't believe Ethan swings into that.
Outplayed.
The Odin spam, but he does connect the shot. Still the Horn. No one was really dealing with that one, and now the Nightfall on top of it. Needs to do some damage to this one. Hayes up close. Falling down to just a sliver of health. Jorgamo, he's also dashed into the site. No one's really making sure that this guy's dealt with. And one shot after the other. A dash to the side, but his teammate Boostio, he's got his back around. Win for EG.
Last round
Sublime stuff from
I suppose.
Jorgamo.
I mean, with the Nightfall scattered, I mean, none of them are getting the audio cue.
No.
To know that they're playing that.
They did not hear a thing.
Why they're looking so clueless, honestly.
The play from Reformed is fantastic. And then the ultimate grabs everybody. And Jorgamo's able to push through. And these players...
I can't believe it. Look at that.
I mean, these players on NRG just didn't know where Jorgamo was. They're just seeing Cloudburst pop up around them. Where's the Jet? I can't hear his footsteps. This looks like an all-in B piece, though.
Yep.
This is going to have a lot of pace behind it. Can Boostio deal?
A full-on execute. Boostio, it's on him, and he does grab the one. Rendezvous back to safety. Som's still on top of the wall, but drops down. He needs to supplement the rest of his team as they're still trying to go for this push attempt. Spike not even planted yet. Ethan was the one who was holding on to that.
EG with less utility now that they're running the Jet in their composition compared to the triple initiator for retake. Som's got to be dealt with. The trade is there. Patches Reformed, though, and that is the majority of their retake utility. Still with a Paranoia to work with.
Time's being taken, though. Flash over the top. Dash still active. Jorgamo, he's got the blades on. This guy is deadly in the right situation, and that happens to be now. 2 players removed. NRG still. Ethan trying to hold on to whatever he can, but it's all being tossed at him. Man, the dart at the back, he just could not stand up to all that aggression.
And I think it took a while for EG to figure out how this composition worked, but 5-7 is a major recovery. And with how good they've been in the pistol, it might be possible.
Yeah, we'll see soon enough. Going to go to a short break, and on the other side of this one, we'll find out just how this map might be going. Is it going to be the continuation of the series at NRG? Going to be able to squeeze it out and take us to that map 3? We'll find out soon. Now we're here at the major turning point of the map, NRG with a narrow lead. A great attack side from them, all things considered. You know, we're putting into question the composition, but now it comes down to this pistol round, and we have been speaking it to death. The amount of times we've talked about EG's pistol rounds. They're brilliant on this as well. They go for these full executes. These guys are nigh unstoppable.
Yeah, when they played the triple initiator comp against Optic, they went for an A execute off the rip. You can see NRG have positioned Som, their top fragger, their Sage, with a lot of utility there, including the wall, to stop any potential hit like that. EG waiting out, it looks like, a knife that would come through, and there it is. They are rewarded for that, but they could be players in A main off the back of this. Meanwhile as well, Boostio is a long way away. Is this truly designed to be a hit? The knife forcing them to play a little passive over at Gelato. The wall perfectly timed there from Som as well, just as EG would start to take A main control. You can see that NRG have a good idea of how their defense side is going to be functioning, at least when it comes to the timings.
Yeah, this feels like them honestly poking and prodding, trying to see the positioning that NRG might be playing. Because with the comp they're running, you don't really want to be running a full execute into this blind.
I love this idea from EG, though. In general, when you play against a Sage on Ascent, you're going to want to take the opposite area of the map when the wall is up, and then return to the wall once it naturally breaks. You don't want to be wasting your pistol bullets or giving away your positioning. But EG have threatened like they could be down mid right now and going for a cat split or a mid to B. And now, as the wall goes down, they're in on A.
One close to it. Jogomo goes for the dash engage, updrafted, up to the side, playing in the corner. Face to the wall, obviously trying to play anti-flash, expecting them to try and push through. Jogomo wants to try and take the timing. How is he even aware? He does collect the one, but it's up to Hayes, and he is doing some decent work. Frenzy in hand. His teammates now helping him, supporting him, rushing to his attention. And that's a pistol round win for NRG. Ready and waiting, and this is where they can really start to cement that lead. It was narrow as we reached this second half of this map, but now their opportunity to carry it away.
Yeah, that's a fantastic opener for NRG. They've come in here, they've picked Ascent for a reason. It's not a map that you normally associate with too much success for this squad, but they've got a very different comp, a very different game plan, and it's specific against what they're expecting from EG, and it's working. Both pistol rounds finding success here puts them out to a fairly solid lead. It's the first time that Evil Geniuses have lost both pistols since legitimately the first map of Stage 2 when they played against Cloud.
Oh my god.
And Bren, they lost that game.
Yeah, it really does put things into focus, I think.
Yeah, EG have been simply filthy on pistols, and NRG able to take their biggest strength away from them here on Ascent. EG are going to have to come out with phenomenal gun round success to bring this one back.
That's what I mean. How do you battle back now? You attempt to do it. Obviously, the weapons that they're working with not too great, but maybe just a contact play. But you might be contacting into Tex with the Marshal. He's on this angle a little bit prior. There's the Haunt, gets him away, and he is disrespecting it. About a second. Even the Dart. It's both big information gathering tools used by EG just to try and clear through into B main. But 50 seconds in the round, they can take their time a little bit.
They might pick up Hazed in mid here.
Oh, swing still. Not enough armor for the players to really survive, but they do eventually swarm him with the numbers. Take him out. And, okay, EU knows the common angle, knows that if that's smoked off, they're probably just trying to cross into this one, and they can start to at least pincer the solo player left remaining.
And it's pretty brutal.
NRG players surviving as well here, Josh.
Yeah, Hayes was able to do a lot more than I was expecting, running into the stack of pistol players, swarming him at tiles. And they're able to come out to a 9-5 lead. Does NRG have anything interesting to showcase here on their bonus round? It looks like this composition would not try and play too aggressively on their defense, but they could go for some kind of mid-crunch with the Chamber playing towards close mid. They could have Ethan flashing out of any smoke on Cat. It does look like they're aiming up for something like this.
I mean, it's a bonus round strat, I think, that they might have cooked up.
Yeah, and I think this should be quite unexpected with the comp that they are running.
Oh, just swing around the corner. Head not being found, Jogomo is weak.
You can see Jogomo's expecting that KO to be inside the smoke. Peppering some bullets in there.
It would have been right for but a moment.
Hayes and Ethan have backed off, playing Tree from a safer position. The nade is good there to stop anybody following the drone into Catwalk.
And what tools do you have if you're EG? Dash is now pumped up. You can see that, okay, flash as well forces Jogomo to back away. That's just a flash that Ethan throws out for a bit of information. Gets it. They know that there's a player pushed up here, but right now the pressure is on. EG do not want to lose these rifles. Time starting to run low in the round. Still holds the angle, still holds the shot. He's reloading though. No one's going to be able to follow up on that one. Tight cross. NRG winning out these fights. And Tex with the perfect, impeccable timing. He will eventually fall, but there's such a big player disadvantage now for EG.
Com doesn't get the luxury of seeing where that smoke is thrown from.
30 seconds left.
And Apot's left in a 1v3. NRG coming out with something special on the bonus round. Yeah. The paranoia in Apot's hands is not going to be good enough. NRG coming out to a 10-5 lead. What a different map this has been compared to Bind. Sure, it doesn't necessarily have the explosiveness, perhaps, of what we were watching from EG, but NRG's players are stepping up, some with a monstrous performance. 19 and 9 currently. They're winning a ton of the first kills. And they've also just got a composition that thrives in this kind of defensive cycling of the timings, trying to predict where EG are going to be based off the knife and the wall coming down. And The chamber taking contact.
This adds such a unique dynamic, I think, into this. For the NRG, the defense side of things with the Sage. You can see how difficult it is to just take early map control.
I was expecting to use this cast to say how good the Zero Duelist comps are on Ascent and how successful they can be. But I wasn't expecting to say it about NRG. They've come out with a surprise and are just mopping up this hit.
Those quarters for them. Boostio, though. Okay.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, rips into them. The Hunter's Fury as well. The players just couldn't really hold their ground on Tree. Some was good for 2 there, but at the end of the day, Boostio just still rattling off the shots, and he's managed to find a rifle.
I don't think they have any idea where Com could be positioned here.
Oh, he's overstepped himself. Yeah.
Yeah, just walks into Ethan holding the angle. This is going to be a difficult 1v2 for Boostio, but he's hit some nasty shots already in the round.
Enemy remaining.
He's made it interesting. Now down to the 1v1. He's only got 2 health. The swing wasn't there from Ethan fast, so he expects him to be at door. But this could come down to just anything. A slight noise cue. Ethan, he has full utility to work with here. There's the fragment. Pushes that back, drops down, and it obfuscates him. It's so well played by Ethan.
Fantastic clear. The rest of NRG communicating how much damage they've done to Boostio over the course of the round. Add it up in your head. This guy's one shot. Ethan throws out a fragment and just peppers the other side of hell.
Yeah.
Great play.
Angles.
Safe pair of hands. NRG 11-5 up.
It's looking like their map. I mean, listen, all the win conditions that we're talking about, pistol rounds, one of the biggest strengths of EG, taken away from them. They lose both of them in this map.
Anti-ecos.
Yeah.
They haven't had to worry about that.
Boostio, Jorgamo popping off. These guys have been shut down. Som at the top of the scoreboard.
By a long shot as well. 21 kills in 16 rounds. That's quite crazy.
Yeah. And
Boostio and Jorgamo,
look at that.
Yeah, in terms of their first kills to first deaths, that's a really big factor for EG. And they are 3 and 8 combined right now. That's a key win condition that NRG have completely shut down. I think you're bang on the money there, Bren, in terms of pistol rounds and the star performances. They've stopped Jorgamo from running over them like he was on Bind. He may be at the top of the scoreboard for EG, but he's not finding the same level of impact he was.
No, certainly not.
And you've already kind of shoved EG off their composition that was working for them. They had a formula that was getting them success, that beat Optic on Ascent. Optic took their composition because they thought it was so good.
It was really, I mean, setting trends. I'm not really sure which team was picking up first, but across the regions.
As DRX.
Yeah.
If you, listen, if you say EG started it, the Korean fans are going to be very annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. DRX always cooking something up.
Okay, EG looking like they want to burst into B here. It's going to be Som having to put on a big performance. The slow orbs and the walls are just so good for slowing down any kind of fast-pacey hit. And in fact, EG are taking it a bit more slowly.
I don't think that's where this composition really wants to be playing, though. I think they'd love to take early control of A main, B main, wherever it is on the attack side of things. There's the Horns. Tex, will he choose to disrespect it again?
This Horn is finding good value in terms of pushing Tex away. And EG have mid control. They're going to break the door. How did Tex kill
absurd.
A-Bot? I mean, he was clearly aiming at Jorgamo.
Yeah, head found, though. I mean, he's not really arguing.
Get down, Mr. President.
Yeah, happy days, I think, for him. Player advantage now leaning once more to NRG with that first kill.
And A-Pot Smokes just disappeared at CT. No possibility to refresh that.
Here's the thing, they just know that this is leaning into market. The way that NRG are playing this, still, they don't actually have... There was a window of opportunity, honestly, where players could have pushed into mid. Nobody was watching it, but
Boostio, say goodbye to your tour de force. And they also know that there's a player in B main. So, yeah, they are so aware that this is a B split. There's no potential of it being a cat play. In the meantime, just in case that could be a possibility, Hayes has got a one-way there with Ethan holding it.
Yeah.
EG have just got to contact this one in.
He's playing in wine, and he's got his ultimate so he can reposition in case he needs to, and he might actually need to. Here you go, you see the ultimate coming off. Tex still just watching all these angles. He might be getting pressure from this way, that way. Still, he's going to be teleporting into the back of the side there, but he is dealt with soon enough. No teammates to help him out.
Yeah, a bit of a wonky timing for sure. NRG looking flustered against the contact play. Really caught them off guard there. Messed up their game plan for sure.
And Ethan, that is unwinnable.
Very unusual defensive response for NRG, but to be honest, most teams are not going to just contact into you at the front side of B either. I really like the way that EG have chosen to run that one. Boostio just taking a walk with his operator. Jorgamo flying his way in. But yeah, Hayes is just a bit too late in terms of his teleport play there. Needed to be running that one far earlier, but EG didn't give him a specific timing to go for. By the time they get first contact with Boostio's up, there's a player down and they've taken the side.
That was the timing for it. Boostio getting that pick.
Yeah.
You got to think as well, the slow field was dropped down and spawned. Nobody can really follow up to help Hayes.
But is that just a blip on the radar, or is it the beginning of a bit of a comeback? Hex is so walked out.
You got to anticipate it. A lot of the chamber players are doing that these days on Ascent, and well, he's found it anyway. TP'd back to safety, still has the confidence to swing out and remove Boostio.
The Jiggle has seen Jorgamo in mid as well. Now there's 2 players in spawn. Are they just sound baiting for each other there?
A quick little jump peek off of the well.
I don't think they're aware that Jorgamo's this close, actually. That is surprising. I thought they'd seen a peek of the Jet early on. Now they're coming towards Som.
Jorgamo dash to the side. So I'm surprised he catches onto that one, but a bit flustered. Slow orb right against the wall. Not intentional there. The horns. He knows he has to deal with that one, but they have positioning now. They're aware of it. And Apoff, he's just been lurking straight in mid. Playing from the composition.
And EG's plan appears to be inject chaos into all of these rounds.
Chaos is the name of the game.
NRG can't keep up. They are an improvisational team, but all their protocols are falling to pieces here against what EG are throwing at them. Jorgamo going for that play through mid and then putting pressure on Som, scrambled him.
Nothing obvious about what EG are doing in these last 2 rounds.
No,
nothing obvious. It has been all over the place.
How many rounds like this do they have in the bag? I can't imagine they've been running these kind of things in scrims. Oh yeah, let's do the round where Jorgamo gets a timing on a guy that's jump spotting into spawn.
And then up into mid.
Updrafts into their Sage. I mean, these are just not rounds that you practice. EG are digging deep and having to go improvisational.
Fight them off.
I don't think Hayes is going to be allowed to keep this one. He's got comm hunting.
Well, you say that. I don't think they're going to be able to swing at the same time.
True.
If he contacts in, yeah, okay, just hand him a couple of freebies.
Yeah, I wasn't sure Hayes was going to be aware of it, but I think he might have heard some Sova footsteps. EG not going to be pressured. They've won the last couple of rounds. But yeah, EU, just jump peeking here. And it's not necessarily EU's fault that he gets caught by that timing, but I wasn't expecting it because NRG had already been jump spotting that. And I thought they caught a peek of the Jet. And obviously, if you see a Jet in mid, you have to be aware that they could be pushing you and hold the angle instead of jump peeking there.
Well, they can't be bringing this back. NRG have such a huge lead.
So EG are just waiting again towards Gelato here for the knife to come out. This time, Ethan throws it at Tiles. They don't see a thing. They post techs up deep in B main. There are going to be 4 players to collect this AXEC.
Yeah, the fragment also does split them back. Paranoid to counterplay Haste. He pushes forwards. And still, how does he get rewarded with a kill? The weaponry's not good, but no one's dealing with this guy. Apoff, though, TPs into the back of things. Playing a generator, and Som just needs to watch that one sight line. 3v3 for them. Door now being shut down. Reformed off to the side. It's dangerous.
Oh, I think Som could have been able to collect a kill there had he known the Reformed was going to tuck.
They're going to double play this. Door being broken.
Looks like they're planning to push through into Apoth's smoke as soon as the door breaks.
One just trying to spam behind it. One to try and fight over this one.
Do they expect Hade's position? The timing to Horns. He's got them both.
Could be everything if he can secure it. And still, only with the Spectres, but they do make... It's a cutesy idea for a EG, I'm not going to lie. Could have worked out for them, especially if the Horn ended up catching onto any of the players through the smoke. But at the end of the day, NRG, they contain it.
Match point.
I think they made it very obvious there that they were about to push through that smoke in terms of the Horn being used. And the question is, did EG need to go for something like that? They weren't in a massive player disadvantage situation. Might have just overthought the aggression they needed in the post plant there. But NRG had a great defensive read on it to start with. There were 4 players on A by the time EG pushed. And this knife, the delayed knife that Ethan is throwing, cuts about 5 seconds off the round, just straight off the rip.
They don't want to play forward.
Yeah, because EG can't afford to get caught by it in A main.
So it buys time.
Here goes Ethan again, throwing out a knife.
Information going to be gathered. Still a forward position once more. That's Tex. Deep in mid. Hunter's Fury, actually. Com getting a tag. Will he be rewarded with the kill? A little sidesteps, enough to survive. So that is EU getting away with things. Even receiving a heal, so pop back up to 100 health.
Som has used the wall over a B, stopping any push happening. that side of the map. Both chambers forcing each other away, worried that either one of them got the bad part of that duel. And EG, I think, are responding to the Sage wall here pretty well. They're going and taking the other side of the map. When the wall drops, NRG are going to be worried about it. So if EG pick the timing to burst Cat as the Sage wall drops, this should be a little more open. There goes the wall in B. This should start to be the timing here for EG.
What a shot. They know Hayes is close though, but Jogamo returns. Okay, trades in action. The Haunt clears a bit of it as well as that Prowler. Now they can start to split into the side, and they do have it for free.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, really nice execution. But they anticipate a double flank coming. It's Tex only with a Headhunter. And EU pushing out through Gelato.
I don't think they're liable to overheat in this post-plant situation again. Unlike before. Tex obviously he doesn't actually have any weaponry right now. He's only using a Headhunter, so he's the one who's just peeking this one. Not afraid of losing anything.
Tex has been pretty insane with these shots previously.
Just fights it!
Well, I mean, he wasn't aiming at Jogamo.
Oh my god. Still gets a second. He is traded, but now exits being played. Okay. He falls.
Could have been an extremely punishing round. Apoth performed getting out the rifles. Saves EG a little bit.
How much longer can EG keep this up, though?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? EG have come out with some really nice attacking rounds here. I think they're working around the Sage wall pretty perfectly in terms of the timings they're going for the hit. It's all really nice. The question is, how can they keep it up for this long? It's map point here for NRG. All they need is a pop-off round from Som or Tex.
Yeah.
Ethan.
These rounds have been coming down to the wire in a lot of situations.
A 1v5 from EU? Maybe you can't rely on that one again.
No, I don't think that's replicatable. Nothing against EU, of course. Great player, but...
And this is looking pretty similar to their pistol round strat. EG actually going for Gelato aggression much earlier.
The jiggle peek?
You can't expect this.
Go on.
He is expecting it.
How does he expect this? Seems to know that it was a possibility, a timing.
They could try and react into A, but instead they're trying to deal with the hit. The Haunt lights up both of these players.
Yep, they know where they are. It's up to Tex to try and do some damage once more, but he doesn't escape with his life.
Excellent utility from Reform to dismantle that mid push. The question is, where are the rest of the players from NRG? They could be anywhere. They could have taken advantage of that distraction to push up into A main, B main, Wine. And in fact, EU's going to try and re-clear mid, gain a little bit of information. And Som is ready to try and collect this A push, and that's where the spike is going.
Yeah, any sort of timing. If a smoke gets popped off, you're going to see that that choke point is going to get slowed immediately.
Both of these NRG players have decent utility, and they're on the right side.
The Haunt's now back online. This could still be shut down in a moment. All on the line for NRG. They'd love to try and capitalize. The Haunt up close doesn't really secure too much. And oh, I mean, just like that, man. Just like that. You can see it happening. The crossfire set up by NRG. They secure it. And it was the question, Josh, how long could EG sustain that? Yeah. Not much longer was the answer. They're going to be bringing it to map number 3. It's split between both of these teams. Honestly, I'm just glad we're having an actual series here. We're going to go to a short break. Our desk is going to break down the action thus far and set up that pivotal map number 3 in this elimination lower bracket here in the playoffs of Stage 2. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone, to the VCT North American Playoff Stage 2, where we just wrapped up our second map of our first match of the day between NRG and Evil Geniuses. And I think the big question on everyone's mind was, were EG going to be closing this one out, or could NRG tie things up? And NRG successfully do so, tying it up on their map choice on Ascent. And I think it was really an overall story of, it just felt overall that EG could not adjust properly in time to what NRG were bringing to the table.
Yeah, NRG, again, compositionally, we were a little surprised with what they had. Not having a Raze or a Jet in the composition meant that they didn't have the ability to blast their way out onto a site, and yet they were able to take control over A and B main pretty regularly as EG tried to fight back against them. And then once it actually came to the site hits, they did have a fair amount of utility to help them get in. So I think attacking-wise, them getting 7 rounds was really, really big in turning this one around.
Yeah, I think that for the side of EG, it almost felt like a bit of the 100 Thieves effect, where like you have this really cool comp and it works really well for you, and you're like, no, we're not getting counter-stratted. We can never get counter-stratted. We're going to change things up, come in with a new idea. I don't think it was quite as effective as the comp they showed before, but for NRG, they came in hot, switched things into this Sage pick, and it worked fairly well for them.
Indeed, I'm glad you call out Sam, because if last map was all about Jogamo, this one was about Sam, and he had enormous impact as we took a look at that map, and also especially that first half.
Yeah, it did work pretty well for him, and I think I was surprised by how well they did on that attacking side, playing a comp that's not super heavy on the flashes, which has been something that NRG has put an emphasis on previously. I liked it. I think once they switched on over to the defense, though, things were a little bit more suboptimal. They used that Sage round pretty often, like right off the rip, and then, like you were saying in the pre-show, 45 seconds later, it's over, it's done with. Still, there were enough moments that the Sage got value, and I think there was enough kind of gimmick factor to it that they got some rounds that they may not have otherwise.
Yeah, on the attacking half, it seemed like Sam's role, like early on in rounds, was very similar to like a Chamber or something, where it was like one of the first players like taking fights. And then if he stays alive, which he was, because he was winning a lot of those early fights, his wall was pretty effective at like shutting down specific areas, whether they're playing through mid and using the wall pretty deep to cut off rotations, or using it in tree as well. That's where we saw some of the value come in, as opposed to a lot of Sage play in the past that we've seen that's all about like boosting up and getting the more like uncomfortable angles to peek at your opponents.
Yeah, and I think as well the slow words found a lot of value out of the agent. I think there was a couple times you oftentimes see on attacking sides when they're going for an execute, they'll like throw a molly into a smoke or something like that. For NRG, they had that Sage slow. If you're going in towards B, put one in towards defensive sided spawn, and you can completely slow down any opponents trying to come through and scale.
We saw that NRG got that really early lead where they were up 2-7. And then finally, we started from the side of EG. They were starting to claw some rounds back. And in fact, the score could have even been a lot closer. There were a lot of times where on the defensive half, EG got close, but it was no cigar.
Yeah, you know, I was sort of looking. I didn't quite catch it in the initial agent select, but like they didn't have a lot of great tools to actually enter site themselves on EG's side, right? They didn't actually have flashes apart from the Omen to get them in there. So they had a lot of great scouting tools. They could get information and try and make good decisions off of that. But then when it came to the site hits themselves, so much reliance was placed on Jaw, right? Without flashes to get him in, you have information so you can know where people are, but you have to be winning his fights. And we saw that a few times where he goes into the site, plays really well. Like he had this one clip where he was diving in and around some Omen smokes, and it looked really, really good. But he was definitely playing on hard mode.
And it's kind of the antithesis of the style that they were showing back on Bind, where it very much is the initiators are everything in creating the space for Jojimo to shine. There was quite a few moments where he was put out on an island. I also think that, well, the Fade was really good for them when they played that triple initiator. It found less value because something that was so great from them was they'd combine a flash with the Fade haunt. Here it was just the Fade haunt coming on out, and either they get spotted and they stick it, or it just gets broken instantaneously, which definitely puts some trouble for them on the attack.
Well, either way, this has to be a huge boost of confidence for the side of NRG, especially after that first map when they lost so one-sidedly, tying the series up, and now we are headed into that third map, and it is going to be on Split. Now, looking at the history between these two players, most recently we saw EG. They did lose to Optic, but it was a very, very close loss, 13-11, of course, taking on the world champions. And then on the flip side, on the side of NRG, the last time we saw them on this map was when they beat the Guard, but that was also, of course, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it has been a little bit of a while for these teams. I do have to say, like, I hope EG stick to the comps they've been running on this map. They've been doing a lot, again, to support the Raze, and I felt like that was really missing for them on this last map. I know I've been saying it all weekend long, but I just think Raze is so insane at the moment, and Evil Geniuses have proved that they have really good tools to be able to set that up. On a map like Split, Raze has always been so strong. 3 entryways into this, you know, as the attacker, mid, A, and B main. Like, Raze can completely lock those down with good utility use.
Yeah, it's really great. On the other side as well, for what's been ran here, for the likes of NRG, they've generally been a lot of a heavy defensive-sided team with their composition. It's a lot of the kind of combinations between the Fade and Raze, a little bit less proactivity because you don't have quite as many flashes as the approach Evil Geniuses is taking.
Well, we have Agent Select ready in just a bit here, but knowing that the last time we saw NRG on this map was against a Guard, do you think we're going to be seeing any sort of compositional changes since that time, or do you think they're going to be sticking with what Mimi had just mentioned with sort of a more defensive composition.
Yeah, I think on Split, you're always going to get comps that like rely a lot on trying to grind out a lot of defensive rounds. Like if you can get a pistol round on the attacking side, you're feeling good about yourself, right? You're already off to a good start. So I don't think NRG will stray too far away from this. I personally value the Breach over something like the KO. I think the Breach is so impactful. We've seen a lot of teams try to adapt and pull that into their compositions like we've already seen locked in from Evil Geniuses. So personally, I want to see NRG adapt to what EG play, but they've got a style of their own.
Yeah, EG also will be sticking with this Cypher choice. They've rocked with this setup before, and I've actually really liked the way they do it. A lot of their trap plays are relying on that Cypher camp. You'll have the camp making contact either in A heaven or in mid, then a flash from either Calm or Reform comes off that to allow Jimo to have these big moments.
Yeah, now the one thing EG's comp is theoretically missing is like a really good contact agent, a player that can fit into the op role here because they're running a Raze over a Jet and they're running a Cypher over the Chamber. So that's something that you could consider a weakness, but the way that Split plays out so often, ops don't have a ton of value. It's pretty easy to shut them down if you're not falling into their crosshairs very early on into a round. And with all the smokes and the flash utility, you can clear away a Tex op on the other side.
Yeah, that's the point I was actually about to bring up, in that Tex, he's going to have a lot of trouble here, I think, playing the Chamber. This composition is really well built to shut him down. We saw in map number 1, he was struggling a little bit to get that value. I think it could be a similar story here, especially with that attack-sided start for NRG.
Well, now the series is tied 1-1. Which team is going to be the one to proceed in that lower bracket, and which team is unfortunately going to be the one that is eliminated? The casters are ready to bring this last map to you guys. It is Sideshow and Bren.
Thank you very much, crew. Yes, let's get into this right now. Lower bracket match. Everything on the line with both of these teams. We're in the playoffs, obviously. And yeah, you lose this one, this map upcoming. That's it. You're done for stage 2.
With how dominant map 1 was in favor of EG, it looked like they were going to run away with this series. But now NRG are in a position where if they win on Split, and they have a nasty good comp on Split, if they can win here, they will have eliminated Guard, then Ghost, then EG.
Actual Grim Reapers.
Yeah.
In stage 2, just eliminating a lot of the teams, the heavy-set favorites, but EG are coming through. There's something a bit more curated. The nade against the back wall, but the rendezvous was available. Ready and waiting. There is an attempt at a punish, but he Aftershock pushes away that aggression.
And already you're seeing EG try and turn up the tempo, get some defensive aggression out of their pistol round. They win so many of these, but they lost both of them on Ascent. One of the big reasons that map was so one-sided. And still able to claw it back, actually, to a 13-8 respectable scoreline. Ethan works his way reactively up through ropes. Apos just jiggling this angle and does spot somebody. Still with a star, ready to play around.
Rather destroyed. It does remove a lot of their information that they might have. Still some zips across the site, but the kills this time flooding in the way of EG. The pop flash can't quite find the target, but luckily the teammates are there ready and waiting. Oh my goodness, flick of the wrist. Tex. Not a lot to work with. One bullet in the chamber, 16 health. Anything will do it. A slight breeze might take him down.
What a shift in tempo. That B hit had everybody trying to trade for each other. And suddenly, it's quiet.
30 seconds left.
As Com tries to figure out whether or not this is a fake. Realizes at this point, just Tex trying to bait him in.
It has to be a headshot from Tex. It has to be. One bullet. That's not enough. He doesn't anticipate the timing.
And what an incredible timing that Com caught. It was right as Tex moved off that sight line.
To try and go for the plant as well.
Tex had the right idea, but just marginally off with it. This utility usage that came out from EG, a little slow, both in terms of the pull and the flash, but you can see the game plan there. NRG swarming in off the back of using their horn to the other side of the smoke, and barely don't manage that one. Like we've been saying, EG need the pistol rounds to win these maps. And they've got one on the board already.
When we were looking at the agent select as well, the analyst was talking about it. I liked Mimi's point talking about the Cypher and Boostio, what it adds to this. And typically we're talking about the strength of this guy, playing the chamber, hitting shots. The cam really does set up a lot of those, not necessarily trap plays, but I mean the opportunities there.
Yeah, flashing off cam contact, flashing off a trip being broken.
And he has so many defensive setups when he plays Cypher.
Yeah.
On this map in particular. He's always chopping and changing.
EG's comp fault line into Suck is incredibly powerful as well. You can throw a nade in there. They have a lot of options, but as does NRG. I'm a big fan of how their composition works.
Yeah.
And I think they got great value out of it recently. The first time against XZ looked a little wonky, but I think both of these teams have got very different styles on the map, but it's relatively even. Couldn't call a favorite. That's a great way to have an elimination game in the playoffs. Here's the prepped fault line into stun. Tom deciding not to use it there, as Jorgamo doesn't see any contact up in B heaven.
Presence being found. You can see just walking into the trip. The stun's overlaid. Trailblazer supplementing with it. Now a flash to try and repick into this one, but the players are ready. And Tex, this guy's too clean with it. Even taking the stray bullets from on high, from up heaven. Can the Spectres really do that much work? And the answer is no.
NRG is so dangerous in these kind of rounds. Tex is just a beast with the Headhunter. Falls down to Jorgamo and Apoth to recover this round. They are massively advantaged in terms of the weaponry and the health. But there's still 3 players to deal with.
All it takes is a single shot. How is Tex so consistent? You're all right, Josh. Health not on the side of them. Up top, that's going to be a corner cleared. Not too much more now to worry about if you are EG, but still potential for it to go wrong. Spectres in play, fully healthy, and now the elbow, they're being squeezed. The timing they take is great.
Yeah, good timing. Really nice play. Both of the players pinching at the same time into Haze, who was the player with health on the board. And EG managed to put another one on, but it's another dangerous round. And I think these NRG second round plays, when they're so precise with classics, with headhunters, they're taking a bit of the sting out of the momentum, because EG now can't have a very good bonus. They're going to have to invest. They're going to have to put risk on the line here. They can seriously lose something in the next round. It's not a freebie.
They're choosing not to invest.
Oh, they're
still
not
keeping
going
the
for
bonus
it.
going.
Okay.
I'm curious.
This is going to be a very light bonus round.
Ping's happening over towards A main. Are they going to go for some sort of play here?
Looks like Jorgamo would take contact, maybe have a stun into the suck.
Yeah.
No, choosing to go for a smoke deployed out of that star instead.
There's a flash there. They're just pushing them away. And while all that's happening on the other side of the map, you can see that NRG are happy to take control of this one. Satchel off to the side. That's in case there's a deep camp.
Which Boostio is going to be running a lot of the time. You need to be aware of that. The Satchel, though, is fantastic. Has such a large area of effect.
Yeah, it instantly takes care of it.
Yeah. And Boostio is going to be constantly playing a game of cat and mouse in terms of his setups, trying to put it into unusual positions where he can continue to get good, valuable information throughout the round. And NRG will be trying to break them. A heavy emphasis on removing those eyes from Boostio, whether it be the trap or the cam, is going to be crucial for NRG.
The big one. But now the push comes through. NRG. The weapons online. Can they try and catch this one? Jorgamo. The only thing he's catching is a great timing. EU falls. Formed it to the back of the site, but with the Sheriff, got to hit the head. The flash? How? Some just couldn't see in the moment. And the kills are all flooding in this time, though. EG getting a couple of upgrades while they're at it. And Reformed, fearless, man. Guys running forwards. Tex fully stunned up, though. Can he really just return the fire? One more bullet left in the clip. Has to reload. They know where he is. Dodging, juking, everything being chucked at him with 11 seconds remaining. The trade is there eventually. EG winning out. They had really nothing. We talk about winning that.
We talk about EG being so good in the pistol rounds, but that was an eco where they're able to get, again, crazy value out of pistols. Reformed with a Sheriff hits a lovely shot on sight, but what you don't catch on camera is Apoth at the same time. Look at Apoth's position on the minimap, wrapping around the back there and catching Hazed with the Frenzy. Reformed with another nice one, and it's just all left up to Tex.
Yeah. EG not afraid to take the risky timings. They know, obviously, they don't have that advantage.
That's instantly a backbreaker for NRG. Ruins the economy.
Yeah, the money is just being destroyed.
And EG had basically nothing in that bonus. It shouldn't have had any teeth.
Not only that, Josh, look at the ultimate situation for EG now. Zone defense side. They got the weaponry. Reform's one away from the Seekers. They've already got the showstopper.
For NRG, their playmaker has got to be Tex with this tour de force. He's going to take it for a walk up through B heaven. It's off Jorgamo's contact here. There's no cam to be worried about, but Tex still having a glance around for it. Good timing on the flash. Stun catches Tex.
No way.
Oh.
He can't get out of there.
Oh, he can actually.
Runs his way forward. He is so low, though.
Actually, he's still got his rendezvous around here somewhere. I mean, you can see it in
further
mid.
back, though.
He had to.
Does he still want to take this?
He had to get out of rendezvous range to dodge the nade, and he's still being a threat.
Not enough. A little bit of an elbow, but this time it's NRG taking it. All weaponry, still they want to take the fight. Flash around the sides. Reform is doing a good job of just peeling them away, and another head is found. Somdo returning fire, but Jorgamo right behind his teammate. Bit of vengeance in play.
And that is a perfect example of a dangerous defensive setup from EG. You have flash off the cam contact in A heaven, and on the B side, you have a trap play set up off the back of Jorgamo's contact, or even just a timing based on some utility.
Yeah.
Because they went for a flash peek and a nade. But here in A heaven, Reform's flashes are being informed by Boostio's cam. You can see it up there. These players had no hope.
Gives him the correct timing.
It gives him the correct timing, and he's happy to fight. NRG, I guess the benefit is that they found that kind of setup on an eco round. This time, though, the cam...
This is the trouble with Boostio, man. You can find his setups, but he's got one for every situation.
Yeah.
He changes it up so often.
And it's not just Boostio. There's always someone playing off it.
Yeah. An idea behind it. Always an idea behind it.
Now, this time, the idea seems to be that they're going to let somebody get deep into ropes. So this cam can't see into mid. The idea is to catch someone when they actually take ropes control. And for NRG, they're not doing it at this point in the round. Making their way.
It's just a fast heaven play. Right through the cage. Luckily, to return fire. There's a trade in play, and no one really expecting Tex there.
Yeah,
Right
weird
from
position from Apoth, actually. Looking to try and catch a player rafters, but most people, most teams, as they get into B site, are going to drop someone hell and rafters at the same time.
Plan was going down. It's a fight that they want to take. EG sending the flashes going. Trailblazer now. Off into the back. Stun. That's going to find his target and find the second one, in fact, as well. Layering up all that utility. They know that Ethan can't swing from the back, but eventually all of it does fade away. And with this crossfire, it's an impossible task for EG to really win out. They have to just take their timing so well here. You've got to be kidding me. The damage com doesn't know where this other player is. He finds a spam. He expects it from heaven. But does he know? Hazed. Watching it. A quick tap. No noise being made. A bit of a jiggle.
3 bullets.
Almost catching it. But Hazed, he wins it out.
And that is so crucial that Hayes wins the 1v1, because he really was just baiting the rest of his teammates there.
There was no swing.
Clutch. Yeah, there's a crossfire happening. And they've got a player just tucked into that back corner in a devastating position.
A triple face there just destroys him.
Yeah. So Hayes was not involved in trying to hold the crossfire, instead just playing to deny information and make it a difficult 1v1 at the end, and he comes out on top.
Carefree moment.
Well, not quite. There are times where it's a good idea to bait your team.
Sure.
And Hayes gets value out of that one.
Came out with a round win.
Okay, so they're running the same trap play in mid. It didn't get detected in the previous round.
Oh, but a knife really does throw a wrench into things, doesn't it?
But not for too long. Reform now with flashes back online.
Oh, he's got it. And here we go. Flash over the top. Mistimed? Possibly.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a squeeze, but how does Tex get this kill?
Quite ridiculous. He just dives in afterwards.
Okay, well, no time wasted here for NRG. They want to go off the back of this one. Null commands. Rolling Thunder is actually going to be gliding his way through heaven. Tex managed to avoid brunt of it, but still the damage. Can they hold on to this one? NRG losing so many players. Spike's still not down with a showstopper now in Jorgamo's hands. He's smart with it. Rocket in hand. He often waits until the final moment just to buy time, making sure that nobody can play into him.
Dodges the showstopper.
Oh, no way! What a shot! Look at the wrist. 17 health. He just can't. And I mean, listen.
Would have been one of the nastiest 1v2s.
Would have been nasty. Would have been nasty. Just took the wrong gamble on the angle.
Yeah. And EG made it very difficult for him there. Showstopper in his face. An aftershock over at pillar too. I think Apoth is overheating a little bit in terms of how he's anchoring B.
Yeah.
2 and 5 currently found himself in some really awkward positions. But this was also a bit messed up. I think he got on the rope a little too early, so he couldn't actually pop the flash. Or maybe the flash was supposed to be a fake, but he just didn't get the rifle out in time. I'm not sure what happened there particularly. Either way, the trap play not working as intended, and that's one of Boostio's setups now that can't really be replicated for the rest of the half. Thankfully, EG were able to win it out off the back of the breach ultimate mainly that happened over in B Heaven.
Yeah, I mean, that cleaved through heaven.
NRG take a timeout. Their site hits have been good. Once they actually get up into B Heaven, they've been able to trade out fairly effectively onto the site. They've got down into 1v1, 2v2.
The aim's not the problem. I mean, even the tools, the comp that they've got, honestly, should have a pretty pretty high success rate, you think, honestly.
I think
They've
EG
been
have
able
just
to
been
get
responding
themselves
to
into
things
positions.
nicely.
Yeah, they have. It's so difficult to play catch up to this.
Yeah. And EG are very fast on the rotates. It feels like the A anchors are in B heaven by the time NRG are ready to plant. Maybe NRG can throw in a couple of fakes here. Hayes trying to figure out how he should adjust his IGL style. He's the one with a hero rifle in this round. Plan for this round, hit the heads.
Yeah, I think so. Hard to get stuff done, though. Split attack side.
They've got some big ults to work with.
3 avenues. Is it just going to be a fast play? No. The knife pulls one of the smokes out. Apos holding up top of this angle here. Now the showstopper off to the side. Does anybody clear it? They do spot it out, but that rocket, oh my goodness.
Lucio being able to get 2, though, in the meantime is more than perhaps he should have been able to. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about, the delay. The nade comes down, the dog comes down. This all buys time for the A players to rotate over.
Timing trying to be taken. Ethan finds it. Body block now down to the 1v1. And a rifle be gained for EU, or is he really just working with 100 health? And a classic. And it's a free gun. We've seen many moments like it, but not from this range. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. You have got to be joking. My classic doesn't work like that.
That's a free gun. That's absurd.
Actual free gun moment.
NRG finding value there. I said these sight hits have been good. They've been able to get down into 1v1 scenarios. Love this peak. The rocket into heaven finds the kill onto Boostio. And the trades are good from NRG. But EU collects the final 2 with a classic. Just hitting head after head.
Filthy.
Bonkers.
Filthy stuff.
And after EG should have been into a commanding lead economically, they are put down onto a Thrifty round.
What a round to win on their Thrifty, though. NRG now. They reset the economy. Like you said, Josh, they put EG now onto this eco round, and they're still going for the same trap play.
And I think both of these compositions should be pretty good on the defense side. So the question is, how many do NRG really need? 4, maybe? Hard to say.
Hard to say.
Really difficult to say. But there are 3 shorties in play right now for EG on Boostio, Apoth, and Com. They're not really in great positions to get value out of them. All 3 of these players the deepest onto the site. But I'm sure they've got a plan to try and get value out of them wherever the NRG hit comes through. And most of these rounds have been B splits or B main pops. Point being that it's been Apoth under pressure the majority of the time.
Space gained for NRG. They immediately back off. Bit of utility used just to clear through.
They are taking so much time off the clock, though, here. And I always get worried when the anti-eco rounds end up with such little time remaining.
I would agree with you.
At the first point that NRG throw out a Prowler, all of these EG players are going to start collecting towards A.
They're working with shorties.
Yeah, there's
so normally, I would agree.
Not too much of a problem.
I would agree, but if they can play the range fight, and they're running it down. Look at my, where did he get this Spectre from? Sprayed through the wall, though. He's fallen.
Could have been dangerous. Still is dangerous.
Okay, jumping through. But yeah, it is left up to Com in a 1v3. Only the shorty. He's using his utility, but he has claimed a bit of weaponry, passing it around, dodging the seas, a bit of a displacement. Running and gunning! You have got to be joking.
7
and
health.
now, the Vandal.
Whoa, he was pre-aiming the perfect spot. And that really did get dangerous. Com almost winning a 1v3 that would have been a backbreaker for NRG.
I really did write off that round.
Ooh.
I thought there's no shot they were able to get into any sort of situation where you can find value in these shorties. But look at how they lined up for him.
Yeah, they really did. Com was doing damage to both of them at all times. That's actually hurt the NRG economy. I only got a quick glance at it there, but I think they're all going to be on light armor. Tech's forced to use his tour de force here.
Just Haze.
Yeah, there's only Haze on light armor, actually, so they've managed to get together a pretty decent buy. Not too bad for NRG. A lot of ults online for EG, though.
Yeah, and I think that might be the goal now. This is not necessarily an important round in terms of if you break NRG, if you win the round out against them, their economy is going to be broken, but definitely want to try and snowball this so you don't lose your guns.
One boombot flies up mid. And from Evil Genius's perspective, they don't know if there's people there behind it. Setting up, by the look of it, yeah, a fault line over towards ramp. They've got great understanding of the timings here. There's nobody really giving them information. I suppose Boostio's cam
It's the
may
cam,
have caught
seeing the cross.
Yeah, may have caught a cross there.
And the Prowler removes one of the trips, and now you can see the no command just comes through. They realize that it's pretty free to take. Only Thunder though, that's a counter play. It's caught onto a ton of the players, just holding close right now. Boostio leading the charge for his team. Knocked Ethan to his knees. The Cosmic Divide is split across the site. This is EG just trying to battle back, regain control of the map, but Hayes, he makes a preemptive play, a bit of instinctual moments from him, I think. They're going to be going for their own spawn.
Yeah, what an audible for Hayes to call. And once more, the pressure is on Apoth. Really difficult scenario for him to be in here. Getting pinched from all angles.
You don't know where they are. He spots it for an angle for a moment. The TP, though! 1-2 players going down. Can he get the third? A shot through the wall. Tex so low in the moment, but Tour de Force in hand. Quick recovery time on that one. A flash as well. Som, he returns it all down to Com.
He almost won a 1v3 in the previous with only a Spectre.
He's feeling himself.
Doesn't really have any good information on where these players could be. NRG have dropped back into playing backside and B main post plants previously, so maybe Com has some kind of idea.
Nade to deny plant or deny the defuse. They don't even have to swing out into this one. Quick
Here
tap.
comes the nade.
Yeah.
Gives away the position of the raise here.
Time's running low though. At this point, Com is just thinking, surely there's a player close.
You can hear footsteps.
Enemy remaining.
There's the one. Tries to spray it down, anticipating in a second, but now no more time. Perfectly played by Som. Patience.
Great patience, ticking the time off the clock. And Com, again, playing well in the clutch, but just not enough. One step away in the last couple of rounds. And NRG, they're pulling them up. They're finding the kills when it's necessary, and I think you've got to give a lot of credit there to Hayes on the audible call to pivot away.
That was really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Great reaction.
As the Cosmic Divide comes through from Apoth,
Yeah.
he's able to get a pick. I think it was on Jorgamo holding spawn, and just opens the avenue back to B.
Their own Cosmic Divide kind of working against them. Look at the way it cuts it across.
They really didn't expect Apoth to be here,
B.
but Som hit some great shots as well in the late round. The kill onto Boostio, and then this kill in Heaven onto Reformed as well. These rounds are getting scrappy, and NRG are thriving in the chaos. In the previous map, it felt the other way around, where EG were
Towards the
creating
tail end.
chaos in the tail end and getting some level of value out of it on the comeback. But now it feels like NRG are adjusting. EG take a timeout.
Post plants have been good for NRG. Almost every single round they've been able to get this plant down. It's resulted in them winning out, with the exception of that second round you're seeing on the timeline.
Where they're massively unfavored when it comes to the economy. So yeah, in terms of when they've had a chance in the round, a reasonable chance in the round. Hey, and they even made that one close.
Yep.
So yeah, NRG have been very good at it.
Back down to the half pipe for EG.
They can still be so dangerous in these scenarios, though, because if you run into a trap play with weaponry and you're full blind or you're stuck, what can you do?
Yeah.
There.
So
gotta-
you still got to be really careful, and that's why we saw NRG bleed the clock out so much in their previous anti-eco.
Gotta set something up. Just taking contact here. I mean, it doesn't look like they've really got too much. In mid, EG with the setup, a bit of a crossfire from Ropes and Mail.
Yeah, I think they're just playing off utility timing. Expecting that NRG would not just be contact walking up mid.
No, not against the half buy.
So the boombox is going to give them some idea. Flash prompts out a counter flash, but they're still not going to go for anything too aggressively. I think for EG, they've got an idea that NRG are just going to play really slowly on these anti-ecos. So once the time gets to about 40, 30 seconds, getting a read on where they're going and pouncing might be the play. NRG are starting to group up a little earlier, though. 10 seconds earlier this time around.
EG are re-clearing mid. Ape off, okay, knife tags him up. Information gathered, though. The smoke will push him back. Com was lurking in mid there. That's caught by Tex, who was just holding from sewers.
But the question is, can they really pivot A? I suppose they could through Ropes, but with 30 seconds left. This is a B hit. There's 3 players here.
Yep.
Could it still get dangerous?
They have to clear close. Everything really just being used just in case they're holding with the shotguns. Blast back off to the side. Jorgamo, how do you get that one? Is the return fire there? The answer is yes. Rotating around this pillar now. No noise cues for them as they are fully deafened up, but a quick hop around the corner. The spike is in the hands of them. Players in position. They're going to be able to start to get that plant down. It's up to Boostio.
Spike planted.
And once more, these anti-eco rounds are getting really sticky, but I think NRG should have done enough. Boostio with a kill makes it so...
No way!
Hayes just peeks out!
They've opened it up. They've given him the opportunity. A flick of the wrist. Not enough for Boostio.
How are all of these anti-eco rounds so close? It does not feel like there's a single free round.
It's the weirdest half of Valorant I've seen in a while.
They're all close, but they're all still being won.
Yeah.
But it keeps the economy in such a strange situation where every time, it's very turbulent.
You're seeing half buys against full buys.
There have only been 3 full buy rounds in this half so far. Out of, what is that, 10, 11? Yeah, out of 10 so far.
Shake them up.
This is the 4th full buy round that you're seeing. And again, EG on the brink of it. NRG would only have a couple left. This is fast.
How do you escape that? Jogamo tries to satchel his way backwards. Still, the return fire. Satchel play, and now the entire kitchen sink just being lobbed at Com.
He's worried, but these players have not gone into the site, actually, taking a heaven control instead.
Just walking in.
What a change of pace.
Hiding from the dog, he gets destroyed a little bit earlier. Did they expect these players to be this close?
Not a clue.
Personal, yep. Com just did not know.
I mean, he's just walking in with his knife out. Completely caught off.
Reformed returns? He gets 2?
That's not a situation where he's favored to win those, but every round has come down to the wire.
He's on 40 health.
All of these players refusing to give up, refusing to get eliminated.
We go peek. One drop down. Now he knows the players. At least one of them deep onto the site. The flash. An angle being taken. The disrespect being shown as he still pushes forwards, and Boostio's helping him out from heaven. The angle was found onto EU, and Ethan tries to tap the spike plan. It's a win for EG. How is it coming like this? But what a performance from Reformed. How does he get away with those 2 kills in heaven?
Yeah, after the rest of his team fumbled there, and not in a terrible manner particularly. They just had no idea that NRG had instantly and quietly taken a heaven control.
A hit from the Trailblazer.
And Reformed, once he gets the indication that they're in a heaven, manages to reswing and get 2. What a round. And this is NRG. Again, final round of the half, and they're buying triple Spectre and a Stinger and an AWP.
Spectres on both sides.
This half, no one's been able to get any momentum at all.
Back and forth, back and forth. Every time coming down.
What a roller coaster of a half.
1 or 2 players alive, but operator in the hand of Tex. It's a glass cannon, no armor.
You just can't separate these 2 teams, and yet, at the end of this map, one of them will be going home. They'll be having to wait for LCQ, no chance at Copenhagen. Anyone's game at this point, though. Boombot going up to be heaven, making space for Tex to get on the line with his AWP.
Aid in the hand of Jorgamo.
Another play where they have to have a bit more of an instinctual timing.
Prowler spots it. Jorgamo pushed off that angle.
Doesn't seem like he's that worried, though.
He's relying off of something.
I mean,
One of his teammates,
Boostio,
in terms of noise cues.
Boostio was able to hold the angle into B heaven. Now he's walked into the smoke at B main. Boostio could be in a deadly position right now.
What is occurring here? Okay, Hayes uses ult. He's going to get the information, and the angle's taken. Boostio wants to hold that one. Showstopper, though.
30 seconds left.
Again, the discipline. Making sure he doesn't release it too early.
Yeah,
Wait
love
for
this.
some kind of cue. Very final moment. Actually waits a little bit too long. It expires in his hands, but EG is still finding the kills across the maps. Eliminations, the timing, though. Jorgamo was not expecting it.
Jorgamo and Apot fall. This puts it down, only 2 players left alive. NRG somehow managed to recover this one.
Really felt like they had no right doing so, but here we go. Out of contact play. This is going to play into the spawn. Commentator using his ult. He has the rolling thunder. That's 2 players caught in the action. Stunned up, but it matters not. They will fall. It's a 6-6 half.
Switching
In
sides.
split, the final map of this series. Elimination game. Team that loses go home. We're going to be going to a short break as well at the half. On the other side of things, which way is the series going to go? I could not tell you, but stick around. You don't want to miss it. Back into it. 6-6 at the half here on split map 3. And these 2 teams in these decider maps, both of them 1-0, Josh. 50-50. Anyone's game, isn't it?
It's about who steps up in the moments where it matters. And think about this. EG won the pistol round and the bonus round. Went up to a 4-0 beginning. And the half ends 6-6.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but it really feels like a must-win pistol round again for EG. NRG are the team that are putting the pressure on.
Yeah, and this is a team that's stepped up so much in the course of the playoffs.
Yeah, they've just improved
Above.
astronomically.
Yeah, above and beyond what they've really showcased, I think, in the groups. knocking out teams everyone expected them to just bow out to.
Jorgemo's going to try and take this space. Spotted Ethan, who barrels away. 46 health.
Or just contact taking space off of it.
I'm not sure whether that was contact. I think he might have heard... Ethan may have heard him drop into rope there. He's looking for a nade off this trademark contact.
Gotta be careful of this one now. Okay, Bustio rips the head off of Ethan. The Fragment did a bit of a job to try and slow down that approach, as well as they're trying to split off into the side. Skipping a hop as well, not making it easy for Tex to land those shots. They do get the trade.
And look at this A Heaven control. They're going to plan for it. Jorgemo still spotting up here.
He's low.
And they have Apoth on the lurk. Even if Jorgemo goes down, I mean, he's getting healed currently.
Did he know he's there? One after the other, the flash comes in. It's a peek, but the timing is slightly off.
In the meantime, though, the screens player gets dismantled, and they still have this lurk from Apoth hiding in ropes all round.
So many layers to this pistol round for them. Som, massive task ahead for him. But
And
reloads at the wrong time.
It's another gorgeous pistol round for EG, but it feels like a necessary one. Once more, I'll bring up the same stat I did on Bind. EG have only lost a single map when they win both of the pistols. They've only lost against the world champions, the winners of Masters Reykjavik, when they win both pistols. But NRG are really pushing them. And in the first half, it didn't matter that EG got out to a 4-0 lead. NRG were simply better when it came down to, I don't know, getting value out of the low econ, keeping the economy humble,
It was so
winning the
even
gun
with
rounds.
man. So even.
Yeah.
You get that kind of advantage as well when Tex is playing Chamber. Headhunter bullets, always an opportunity to turn around. A bit of pressure now being applied into B main. Control needs to be had, and speaking of Tex as well. Speaking of the Chamber pick, I mean, the Headhunter catches the first, the double swing, and the Sheriff in the hand of Som does way too much damage. I think EG were hoping to convert a nice and easy one, but there's no such thing. Not in this series, not in this map between both of these teams.
Yeah, round 2 was absolute chaos.
EG are pushing in their spawn.
EG calling an audible, similar to the one that Hazed ran on them.
Despite being taken all the way through.
Comm should get a free one here.
Yep, just holding the lurk as they try and get information.
And the question is, what do? They're going back over. They're going to meet Ethan.
But Ethan solo with only a classic.
A right click.
A right click potentially. Ah, it's the run and gun.
Very
Reign
close.
supreme.
And EU would have had a nice timing on them potentially. His classic's done work before.
It's not bad.
It's 2v2.
Horn gets position on one of them. They know the other one.
Enemy
Is
remaining.
that default? How is you getting this? Classic in hand, and now he's being swarmed. Blood in the water, NRG sense it, and they win it out. Not much to work with, not really anything at all, but the Headhunter, the Sheriffs, and it all comes together.
NRG not going for a force in any of these rounds, and yet they're making them so close.
It's happening.
It is consistently Tex finding value, getting the first kill with the Headhunter, and then the rest of the players swarming him. I mean, this opener is fantastic.
Both sides
but
of the
then
map.
this play is also wonderful as Hayes jumps around, creating a distraction for Som to swing,
Remaining.
and he used classic works differently.
It does. I mean, I don't know. Has he got blackmail on the devs? Is he? Is he a little patch put into the tournament client just for him with the classic? Guy's shots are just insane.
And this should have been EG gaining momentum on their attack half. NRG stolen it away instantly. The dog cancelled. Counter Prowler to try and keep some A-ramp control. Perhaps it's going to be NRG that step up when it really matters. The fault line, the blast pack, Jorgemo looking the wrong way.
Yeah, he gets info though. He knows that there's two players there. The only thing that EG can do about it, the question is, swinging up into each other, lining up. Ethan and EU, despite the fact that they were in the Astropole.
Last player standing. Flawless.
Wow, just like that, ended.
Yeah. EG do not look as deadly without the chamber in their composition.
Yeah.
On the eco rounds. It's NRG that are putting the pressure on. I was saying that in the first half as well. It might be deceivingly close, a 6-6 scoreline. NRG now being able to draw ahead in the series. Phenomenal performance from them on Split so far. And just getting back in this series overall. Think about how much they got crushed on map 1.
Yeah, not a lot of teams can do
13-3.
that. Not a lot of teams can do that. The reset going from map 1 to map 2.
And NRG now are arguably in a bit of control. That's
It's tenuous. You don't want to give the... listen, those words have weight.
It is on a wire.
I've got your trail.
Ooh, 10 health on Tex. Now the play comes through once more, straight into action, but Texi holds his ground. Rooted to the back of the site. Finding a head Bushi, eventually cleaning him. The trails, though, giving away almost absolutely everything, playing up on top of the rafters. Whole host of utility just being dropped down on top of their heads. A boom board, okay. Didn't quite know what to make of that one. Still calm, the reset. Finds it. Shot onto Som, taking him out. 2v2 now. And a late lurk once more, Apop. The timing, he was aware of it.
Yeah, looking around behind him. Now picks up a Vandal as well. Even more dangerous. And Hayes just slow peeks into the angle.
That was such an important round for EG. Such an important round.
And it's not only the kill that EU gets on Apoth, who's on the lurk. It's the fact that his ultimate just rinses the hit and sets them up to apply so much pressure to the plant. The Nightfall comes through, and EG, their senses are disabled. What a kill, by the way, with 10 HP from Tex.
There's a seeker in his face. There's everything in his face. I mean,
you've got to have confidence to stand your ground at a moment like that.
He's under complete pressure, but he knows he's going to hit the one shot, the one bang. How does he do it?
And look at EG. Their faces tell the story there. They can feel it slipping away from them a little. Every round matters so much. Tex is going to get posted up here on a line towards A with the tour de force.
It's all to play for.
Stunned off the rip, but it's not actually going to allow any space for Boostio.
Yeah, and NRG's money is so sky high.
Yeah, this is the first real time on Split where we've seen any team in comfortable control of the economy. And these teams... Oh, bit of a flash peek there with Ethan having an opportunity.
He's peeking it again. Let's go for seconds. Recommend A drop down the C's. Okay, didn't latch onto anybody.
There could be something reactive here into Hayes. He has the paranoia equipped though.
Going for it.
Oh, look how
over the
good
top.
that haunt is.
How does Boostio get that one though? EU ends up dropping.
Hello.
Hayes vulnerable up.
No
Running
way.
their way in. EG, you're getting away with this once more. Oh, you just think you understand Valorant. And then this happens.
I have never professed to understand Valorant.
I mean, just look at our threads.
Here's Com coming around the back, looking for some kind of timing, catches Ethan, who's just saving at this point.
Push off to the back, yeah. I mean, how do you win this?
This is EG. I said for a moment there that NRG, it was the first time that the team had control of the economy, that they'd finally got some kind of buffer. And sure, they're not going to be put onto an eco in round 18. But EG swarmed in.
Right back into it. They don't care about swinging into this one as well.
No.
Got the money, they got the buffer.
No problems whatsoever. How have they put that round onto the board? Overwhelming the B-side anchor of Hayes.
It looked impossible.
Yeah. Hayes has got the paranoia through onto all of the players coming out. There's a haunt above them as well.
Haunt over the top so they can't push out of it.
Yeah. And somehow, some way...
just rip someone's head off.
Yeah. They're so confident just getting in, barreling in together and putting the pressure on NRG. They've drawn this back within one.
They're back in it. They're back in it.
And these teams are playing for everything right now. They're 3 wins away, including this game from Copenhagen, the road to Denmark. Ethan, the only player on both of these teams that's been to an international tournament before.
Boostio with the setup, Cage is going across. But NRG have been playing heavy for this B main control.
Yeah, the same duo of Hayes and Som.
It's a showstopper off of that.
Tex is so far forwards here.
You got to expect this. He does this a lot. The guy is aggressive, and they do. Sometimes those kind of tendencies, I mean, it means confidence from Tex, but it does make you a little bit more readable.
And with that opening pick, EG creating silence around the map. Boostio is a long way away from this play happening in B main. Are they choosing to return to him? Com's got the spike heading in that direction.
Yeah. So a bit of utility dumped into B main. That actually does feign that they could be going for some sort of B hit. Drags the NRG players still over towards that side of the site.
And those cages being deployed doesn't necessarily give the timing over to Ethan, doesn't give him any information. Being able to grab a kill here and back off into screens or elbow would be huge, but I think that Cosmic Divide and Breach Alex space is not really going to allow an opportunity. He goes for it anyway.
Yeah, he flashes through.
Feels like he has to make a play in the 4v5.
Risks taken. Almost paid off if he managed to catch it onto Com, but doesn't in the end. Now this Cosmic Divide is going to be proving quite difficult to try and shrew their way through the Aftershock into the corner. How is he getting away with that? Pick available to him. A satchel to escape. Now another star dropped down. Smoked off. Just to reload and time being bled off the clock. They don't have a lot of it.
Ustio's ultimate let them know that Hazed was in B main as the spike was planted. Apoth's still looking for it in the same lurk position, but you're right, NRG. They're giving up on this round. Trying to keep their economy in a good position.
They do have money at the end of the day, but it's being hunted out.
Yeah. They could have gone for it, but at the same time, you've got to think about the plant position and whether or not NRG control A Heaven. NRG are coming in for the retake. They would have to retake A Heaven control, get into sight, and somehow stop EG from, you know, still being able to maintain Heaven control as they go on the defuse. And with Apoth consistently lurking through ropes, if you can't deny the Heaven plant, you're going to be in trouble. At some point here, NRG need to make that decision to hold heavily onto A Heaven. I think playing retake is fine for NRG, as long as they maintain A Heaven control the whole time and stop EG from planting in that spot.
Jorgamo, I think, pre-firing common knife position. Prowler catching through, but a knife catches them anyway. That's good information for NRG.
A little slow. I can't believe this, though. Ethan thinks he's safe there. At least EU manages to pick up a return kill.
Oh my goodness, the nade. EU low. Hanging off the edge of rafters there. Prowler to try and get information. Okay, no one's lurked their way up to A ramp, but these attack sides, EG getting into control of things, honestly. Cutting of noise, using the utility to try and fake positionings. They do push them back off of Heaven.
But EG aren't committing to this. They're creating chaos in the ranks of NRG. They don't know whether to use their utility, the Haunt, the Paranoia. Thankfully for NRG, they do hold on to it for a moment. There's the Paranoia used, though.
Available, yeah. Showstopper. Two are available. Jorgamo's movement getting a little bit body blocked there, but they have to clear out the sides. No players of NRG present, though.
And they're going, ooh, not for the A Heaven plant this time.
30 seconds left.
Without that A Heaven control, without A ramp control, choosing not to. And so Apoth's lurk here is coming into the same spot, but it runs into a trademark.
I mean, this is so important. Som has got so much to do. He's got the nade, double satchel, and a showstopper, and Texas found a great opening. With Jorgamo falling, they can retake control of screens, and here you go. Showstopper in the hand. Does he spot the player out? Reformed. That's a death sentence. Swings around, but how has he made that work? He collects a kill in the process. Now to the 2v3 to stun. That's impeccable. And the timing of the swing, Sky is playing instinctual, and it pays off massively, but now just down to it. Time being burnt off.
He doesn't have time anyway.
Yeah.
And Apoth on the same late lurk, essentially AFK in the round, except to secure the pull.
I mean, he
finally making his way past the trademark.
Denies the plan from any location.
But also, think about how insane that is that EG are essentially pulling off these rounds 4v5. Because Apoth is not having an impact until very, very late on in the post plant. Com wins a 1v2 here
just
in elbow to put his team in an advantage and make it impossible for Hayes to clutch.
Yeah.
But that's the wild thing to me, watching these rounds play out, is that NRG can't even put pressure on Evil Geniuses with the smoke player not a factor.
Just taken out of things.
Of course, Apoth can still throw utility for the rest of his team and is doing so. They should have an advantage in the gunfights. Tex finding the first kill for them.
Oh my goodness. Okay. A fragment.
And this is a force Brent. Tex with another.
Taking off heads.
Exactly when his team needs him.
A classic
he steps
NRG.
up.
I mean, this is literally a classic NRG round. When his team needs him most.
They have a stinger and a judge to work with, Brent. And Tex is taking duel after duel. He's 6-2 in terms of first kills to first deaths. The impact has just been phenomenal.
Back and forth, back and forth. NRG, it feels like they don't fold under this kind of pressure with the weight of this game on their shoulders. The lower bracket game, the elimination match, the final map going all the way. It's a freebie.
And NRG, they do have some veteran presences on this squad with Hayes, the Cobbler, and Ethan.
One enemy remaining.
Quick little swing through some. Risky. Satchel to the side, but just Com left alone.
30 seconds left.
Yeah,
Com's
the
been
veteran
good in the
presence of this
clutch.
team on NRG.
Yeah.
It's the kind of stuff that really does make it able for them to battle back, especially if they got flattened on map number 1. You don't see teams come back from that.
No.
When you get beaten down like that, it usually bleeds into the next map, the next performance, but it just didn't.
Especially considering how many close losses NRG have had. If you think about their 2022, and you wanted to summarize it in one sentence, it would be close losses. Close,
Yeah.
but no cigar. And yet they made playoffs this time. They battled through the guard, the Stage 1 winners. They knocked out Ghost, some of the community and analyst favorites, to make it through to Copenhagen. And now they're going tit for tat against EG.
What a performance.
And what a round coming up here. Com one away from his ult. Both of the initiators with potential to influence this attacking round pretty heavily. And on the other side of things, you got EU with his Nightfall, which was fantastic for them to get off a fast retake last time EG went for an A exec. EU's going to position himself over by A ramp, just helping to support Tex onto this line. It makes the B side of the map a little weaker, but I think at this point, NRG are pretty confident they're taking B main for free every time. There's a one-way from Hazed in B main, and Som is just holding it on his own. You wouldn't see that at the beginning of the half, but he's confident EG are only retaking this, you know, round about now at the minute mark.
Oh, makes a slight noise, but he breaks the trademark.
I've got your trail.
It's removed. That's going to throw the unknown quantity into this plan, into this round. Fragment nade. Once again, utility being traded one for another. Ethan ready and waiting, but already the pace is being shown. Som, he delivers it. A kill for them. Apoth, though, finally coming alive.
Grabbing a couple, trading things out really effectively. As Jorgamo, the utility usage was not perfect there for him. But they find a player advantage anyway.
Ult available for EU. Does he choose to use it?
I think you have to. This is such an important swing round. Maybe they're looking for another pick before they commit.
Yeah.
That could be it.
They find two. In fact, the Rolling Thunder, though, that's going to be immediately answered back. Just Tex left alive. 1v2, the money running low. He has to find the mark and running around. He could feel the pressure of the time ticking low. Reformed, he catches it, just crouched.
And EG, what a response. Being able to get into the site there. Apoth trading out a couple of players to get them two. But what I like is the post-plant activity there. Choosing to invest Rolling Thunder to stop and disrupt NRG's retake. Com's holding that one off any form of contact, any form of information. And it stops NRG's attempts at that round.
A timeout now. You have to wonder, what have they got that they're working with? Because, I mean, so far, each of these rounds, it's been rare to see one where any team has any sort of surviving members they can carry forwards, but I'm not even sure what ultimates they're really working with as well. I mean, how do you even cook up something against this? What EG are doing?
For NRG, they've got some themes around the EG attack. If they're going for an A plant, they know that there's going to be a late lurk. I think they've got enough information about Apoth to now know that that's how he's playing these attack post plants. The other part about it, they're getting B main for free.
Yeah.
But what can they really do with that when Reformed is flash retaking it around minute 15 on the clock? I think for NRG, maybe just throwing down that one way and playing very heavily for B Heaven might end up being the play. Give up that B main control, but fake like you're there. In fact, that's not what they're going to go for. There are so many ways that you could take the strategy in this map. And it looks like Hayes and Som are going to fight for B main control again. Maybe heavily hold it. Try and play some anti-flash positions. EG are running a default against perhaps what they perceive to be a slightly lighter buy from NRG. Maybe anticipating some defensive aggression.
Yeah, maybe. Got a force in hand, though. You have to respect this one.
And it does look like they're going to fight heavily over B main.
Oh, my.
Tech is going to be left on a bit of an island, but playing the best agent for it.
Everyone's been doing this so much. Works his way into ropes. Satchel gets thrown, breaks the trademark. NRG going over to investigate like a couple of NPCs. Their attention drawn and rewarded with the kill. Jorgamo finished. What is the answer? It's a fast pivot from EG, but again, kills are being found all across the map. They know Apof's going to be lurking late. Right down mid, he's collected. NRG coming up with the goods, coming up with the kills.
What a response. A strategic adjustment that works fantastically there. Clearing out the players that could have been dangerous. Jorgamo destroyed in ropes, and Apoth caught on the lurk.
He's been doing that a lot. Jorgamo, the contact play and a timeout back-to-back.
Yeah, both teams using these up.
Just simmering, man. Simmering.
Games like these will define whether or not you're able to pick the rest of your year up, whether you can go on a run.
Yeah, you lose a match like this, you're losing sleep. You're losing sleep.
Absolutely. Because there are just so many moments where if something had gone fractionally differently, a team could have picked up steam, gone on a run, and yet they've gone back and forth the entire time. I mean, you can see the longest series of rounds that we can spot on the timeline is those 4 between round 7 and round 10.
Yeah.
What are EG trying to adjust here? It feels like the playbook could potentially go a little deeper. They haven't run too many rounds where they take mid control and then cut the noise, pressure between both sides.
Jorgamo just walks up behind his boombot most of the time.
I think one of the big things they've been struggling with is dealing with Tex's op and wondering whether it could be over at A ramp. It seems like it's been a bit difficult for Boostio to take that space for free.
They don't even have the spike.
Tex could be
spawn.
open.
They've forgotten about it.
Apoth's going to run back for it now. But this is an eco round. They've chosen not to invest. That is a large decision from EG in their timeout.
Yeah, look at this, 11-11.
Talking to the coaches, they're playing for OT.
That is stress enough.
They've had a thrifty round that went incredibly well. And it was Jorgamo with a stinger.
The players are leaning themselves into mid. Nade? Okay. Ethan throws out just the flash, but push back. The star in play. Looks like NRG are looking to try and fight this one aggressively. Potential to overstep themselves, but it's Boostio just trying to capitalize off all the space and I think presence that NRG were showing in mid.
Yeah. Getting caught by Tex, who's doing such a great job of locking down these extremities. Flash to B heaven. Can EG close the space? Can Jorgamo get into a position with his stinger?
Oh, the right click from the stinger. He just can't quite find it. The damage is eventually done, though, just tickling them across the site. Apoth in position, though. Just a frenzy. And the heaven approach. Angles being found. That's a Spectre. Com doing some work with it. 2v3 and a rifle in the hands of Apoth. There's no way, right? There's just no way. NRG are doubled up. Good discipline being shown from them. They're not overextending themselves. They know they are waiting for that plant sound. Star goes down though, and that's going to be breaking up the one side of things. The fragment drops down. Apoth, he has to commit to it, and he gets away with his life, but at what cost? He's low now. They hear Com drop, a bit of random spam. They're trying to play across over each other. It's chaos in the camp. They're overheating. A stun, Apoth just runs straight into them.
Not anticipating that many players, perhaps thinking there could be a timing and a peek from B heaven. But you're right, that did feel like a bit of an overheat. They had a play they wanted to cook up, the fault line and the push into the smoke, but I think it was a little readable there. The fact that Com dropped down, he took a bunch of fire, blind fire coming across. All in all though, that was what EG were expecting, an unsuccessful eco round. That's normal. They were playing for OT. They took that timeout knowing that it was likely to go 12-12 if they could perform in this final round with rifles in their hands. No enormous ultimates to work off. We've seen Apoth use the Cosmic Divide for some A hits occasionally. Spike over in market with a B lean here. Tex has the economy to put an op in his hands.
This is it. OT or bust. NRG could be walking away with the series continuing through this playoff. EG looking to deny that. Here and now, but Tex again. Aggression plays off. Com falls as the first player down, and for EG, dire circumstances.
Even the teleport from Hayes managed to draw out quite a bit of utility there for EG. They're in a 4v5 scenario. Not favored whatsoever, and they've lost information on where this operator could be. Boombot comes up mid,
You are divided.
trying to clear out the common positions. And it's a Cosmic Divide that looks like perhaps a bit of a fake. Forces out a Paranoia.
There's no speed behind it. The players are just waiting.
Yeah. It maybe feels like a fake for NRG and might allow the EG players to set up, but the nade is perfect. Perhaps Busio can be a miracle worker from heaven. Otherwise, NRG look like they're in position.
Yep, that's it, the Haunt. The Seas, it just pulls him back as well. Busio can't quite find the angle still. Jogamo moving forwards, he needs to do damage for his team now. They need it. Here and now, but still the swings are there, and Som, he's built up the rocket. One player left standing, it's only Bustio. And against Som, he's firing on all cylinders, not possible. Evil Geniuses eliminated here in the lower bracket of our Stage 2 playoffs. NRG will be moving forwards, and these guys carrying their way forwards in that lower bracket. How many more teams are they going to eliminate? Well, I mean, listen. The question up in the air, and I'm sure our analyst desk are going to be wondering it. We're going to go to a short break, setting up that second match of the day. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You know you're not going to miss even a single part of this action.
Welcome back, everyone, to the VCT North American Stage 2 playoffs, where we just had a ridiculous end to our first match of the day. It was do or die time for one of these teams between NRG and Evil Geniuses. And unfortunately for all of the EG fans out there, they were sent packing as NRG once again stay alive, taking the win 2-1. And Ender, I have to say, that last map on Split was incredibly nail-biting.
Yeah.
It was so close the entire freaking time.
No, that was a wild one, going all the way down 13-11 at the end. I thought we were going to be going into OT, but it seemed like NRG were just so consistently, after the first few rounds in the game, winning out in the late rounds, right? Multiple moments where things were getting close against EG, but holding their own. I think Hayes' decisions that he was making in a lot of those post plants looked really, really good, and that netted them so many rounds on the attacking side of Split. That was so unexpected.
Yeah, the attacking side was what was absolutely wild there out of NRG. I think for them, they come in with really great ideas. They force EG round after round to play in towards those retakes, and then it's just post-plant after post-plant that are coming down to the wire that EG just aren't able to close out on. NRG showed great poise to be able to hold on to the utility, be incredibly conservative with it in towards the late round, and win out in so many of these crucial moments.
You mentioned rounds that they were not able to close out on. I need to talk about that first half, Mimi, because how many times did we see Calm in a clutch situation?
Yeah, there were so many. It felt like round after round where it was coming down to the wire. Calm was looking like he was going to be able to win out on those clutches, and then they just got stolen away. NRG, again, the understanding of the post plant was excellent. I think the way they used the Raze utility and towards the late round was nice, because a lot of times they were leveraging kind of techs in the early round to get the openings, which meant they could save the paint shells, the Roomba, towards those later round situations.
And it hurts because I feel for Calm in these situations, because I feel like so often he was making like the highest percentage play, like tapping, then peeking off, holding for as long as he could. But NRG just weren't biting. Like the final time you see them actually like sprinting out and taking fights usually was at the time where he would have to like go for the half stick and not pull off the spike. So it was really good decisions made by NRG at the very end. Even if when they get up in the big like 3v1s, 4v2s, they start feeling a little bit loose and opening themselves up. When it came to locking those rounds in, they were on top of things.
And honestly, credit where credit is due to NRG as we take a look at the Prime Gaming post-match highlights. We have to remember that this series started with them falling to Evil Geniuses 13-3 on that first map. It was looking like it was going to be such a one-sided series before Mimi, they clawed their way back.
Yeah, they really did here. For Evil Geniuses, the start was incredibly strong. They have such a great understanding of how to play the map of Bind. The Initiator utility was excellent out of them round after round, and it was just a Georgimo map.
Yeah. It was a masterclass on how to take sites on the attacking side, because I think a lot of teams actually ban Bind because taking sites can be pretty frustrating. Retaking them too, the sites can get a little bit claustrophobic at times, but EG did really put on a very, very solid performance. But then as the course of the series went on, NRG were able to show a lot of individual prowess, right? They didn't have the composition it necessarily felt like on Ascent where they could go for like huge executes onto sites, but the early contact plays from Tex and Som worked so well when they were locking in the picks of the Sage and the Chamber on this map.
Yeah, and I give a lot of credit on that over to Tex. I think he had a pretty slow first map, was really getting shut down by EG's utility, but he rallies back on Ascent, has some absolutely massive moments, set himself up well on the attacking side to find some of those openers, which truthfully is really tough to do on that chamber. You have to be really intentional and proactive with your utility to be able to have one of those rendezvous in the right position. And once we got in towards map number 3 of Split, well, that story pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah, it seemed like Split was a story of like, if the first map was like overall strategy, like pre-planned executes how to get onto a site, Split was all like the micro decisions that you're making, like both like the aim fights as well as like when you're using the right utility. Like there were multiple moments on attack, I think, where like NRG Ethan like pop flashes out of B and then is making sure he's checking that top box up to the left and then getting classic kills. It's like, oh my god, if you're just a little lazy, if you don't do that, if you're late to come out and the spacing isn't quite there, NRG are losing so many more rounds, but they were making really good micro decisions, and that's what came all together for them and allowed them to have such a successful attacking side.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Mimi. Thank you very much, Ender, for your analysis. It is time for us to hop to the Verizon post-match interview to hear from the victors. We'll be having none other than Sam, who we saw have an incredibly impressive performance, especially on that map on Ascent. So let's go ahead and bring him on to hear his thoughts. Sam, congratulations. You guys do it once again. And I have to mention, you know, I think it's no secret that NRG had a very, very rough group stage. And then you claw your way into the playoffs, but you were put in that difficult position of having to fight from that lower bracket. But time and time again, no matter which opponent you're facing, you prove that you continue to improve. Knowing how difficult the start of this stage was for you guys, how much does this win and staying alive in this tournament mean to you?
I mean, this is definitely big. This is where we keep our streak going. We keep everything going, ready for playoffs. I think for group stages, yeah, we weren't really in form and ready, but I guess we're a playoffs team and we're ready.
It's amazing to see you guys be able to keep it together. What was the sort of mentality like after that first map, because it was such a one-sided victory in the favor of Evil Geniuses? How did you guys come together and regroup ahead of that second map?
Yeah, so it's honestly no surprise. We lose a lot of first maps. If they're not clean, we lose first maps. So we've been through this before. You know, we've done it so many times where we mentally reset, get ready for the next map, and I think today we did that well.
On that second map on Ascent, we saw you pop off on that Sage. What was it like to bring out the Sage when we typically usually see you on some dive agents?
Yeah, so Sage is obviously not what I usually play. It's definitely something we had ready for this. Kind of prepped well. We scrimmed on this map a lot, and I think it's paying off.
Indeed, and now that you are continuing to make your way through the playoffs, it's been most notably impressive to see how you guys continue to improve match after match. I think it's safe to say that this NRG is looking very, very different from what you guys were displaying in that group stage. What do you think it is that is really helping you guys gel together and produce those results when it matters most here?
Yeah, our team, we have a lot of resilience. We'll be down 1-6, 1-8, whatever the score is. But the whole entire time, I feel like our energy's on par from if we were winning 8-0 or 7-0 or if we had the lead. So I think it's good on like the whole entire team, especially for playoffs, that even though we're down a map or down a couple of rounds, that we're ready to get right back into it.
All right, last question before I let you go. Sam, your next opponent is going to be either the winner of 100 Thieves or it's going to be FaZe. These are both teams you have not played anytime recently. Just your general thoughts on how these two teams have been looking thus far in Stage 2 and how you think you and the boys are going to stack against them.
Right. I mean, we played against 100 Thieves and they're playing well, but I really want a rematch. And honestly, we're ready to take on anyone.
Awesome. Love to hear that confidence. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and best of luck.
Thank you.
With that, that will wrap things up for our first match of the day. It is time for us to go to a quick break ahead of our next match. After this break, we'll be bringing you 100 Thieves taking on FaZe, so we'll see you then.